Does it works?
Fuck it, I'll just roll. 5. Which map is that? Go into the alpha thing. 5 is Sheridan Depot. Is that how it's supposed to look? I don't think so. Is it not done, maybe? I don't know.
I'm not sure.
No mercy, no respite.
Hey guys, what's going on? Thank you very much for joining us today. This is Malice here. We're going to be having a bit of a practice stream going on, if you will. We're going to be doing a bit of casting on a game. I hope you guys enjoy. I've got some casters here. We're going to be fantastic. We're going to be watching a game between Admec versus Custodes. Going to be competitive. We're going to be seeing a lot of very interesting and competitive tactics, and we've been working hard on it, so I'm going to go ahead and bring the boys in. Go ahead and move these. Please bear with us. We are getting this perfected. And oops. Yeah, that's fine. Okay. Hey guys, we're now live. Can you guys hear me?
Forward to victory.
Okay. Woo. Hello there. Hey, what? For some reason, I keep muting myself. As I said, bear with us. If you guys want to just kind of introduce yourselves to the chat, just introduce yourselves soon.
Alright, hey, this is Aladaris, once again joining for the stream. Played in quite a couple of Alpha Leagues previously. And just here to participate again. Joko, you want to also introduce yourself? You might not be. Go ahead, Mouse.
Okay. Well, we're joined here with Joko, who is a little bit on a BRB, and Joko's been how long? Joko has been playing Alpha League for a little bit, hasn't he? I think he was in last season. Well, I think he's on a BRB. Be able to Of course, I'm Malice. I'm just a guy.
Malice, you there?
Oh, yeah. Looks like I gotta get used to this push to talk. All right, so we can go ahead. Let's go ahead and get to the next part. Then we're gonna get the list breakdown. I'm gonna take these boys off of mute so that you guys can hear it. Now, just here's a heads up. Heads up on this is that we're going to be featuring the player's voice, and we will be able to kind of commentate over this. So let's go ahead and get that started up here.
There we go. Now I should be set on both Discord and here. Cool. All right. Nice. Yeah. So basically, like I said, you can race an objective. It's the special version of this mission. But you can only race the ones in your opponent's deployment zone. So I can, if I'm on this side, I can race these two. If you're on this side, you can race these two.
Right.
Yeah. And you get points for controlling one, controlling two, and control more. 5, 10, 50. And the special mission specific secondary is race. At the end of the battle, you score 6 victory points if one objective marker was removed due to a successful race, and 12 if you remove both.
Okay.
Cool. Alright, well I think we can go through lists now. Yeah, so mind if I start?
Yeah, sure, go ahead.
Cool. Yeah. So basically, I have. Let's begin with the Custodes part, because that's the cool part. So I have a Custodes Vanguard. It is unfortunately Dread Host, because I forgot to change it before I submitted my list. But alas, I have to deal with it being Dread Host. So yeah, I have 1 unit of 5 Alaris Custodians, Terminators, 1 Spear in that unit, because of points. And then I have 1 unit of 6 Alaris Custodians. Yeah. Have you played against Custodes before?
Nope, no.
No mercy, no
Okay,
respite.
yeah. So basically, these are Terminators, so they can deep strike. They have 4 wounds each, 2 up save. Everything Custodes has a 4 up invul or better.
My faith is my
Alright.
shield.
Oh, you're counting 6 and oh yeah, you're right. Hold on, I have 1 too many Terminators each. Thank you for pulling that to my attention. I did not know. Oh, hold on, actually. Now that you mention it, is it not supposed to be 6 and 7? Maybe it is. I literally haven't looked at this list. No.
Okay, I'm gonna test the push to talk feature.
There we go.
So this is how we're gonna be doing the commentary over the guys. We'll go ahead and let him finish his list.
Custodians. Like I said, they have a 4 up invul, 2 up save. Every one of them has a 2 damage bolter, and a 2 damage bolt rifle. So it's strength 4, AP 1, 2 damage, rapid fire 1. And then they have a grenade launcher, which is D3 shots blast. So if you're 6 models or more, it's 3 shots. AP3, strength 4, 1 damage. They hit on 2s in both melee and shooting. Their melee is super scary. They have 4 attacks each. I have various ways to buff them: +1 AP, +1 a wound. If you kill 1, I can get more attacks, stuff like that. Yeah. Their strength 8, AP2, D3 damage in melee. The Vexilla Praetor, he has the Vexilla Magnifica, which is the -1 to be hit banner. So any Custodes unit within 6 inches of the banner has -1 to be hit, basically. He also, I have an ability to bring in Custodians from deep strike within 6 inches of him and 3 inches of the enemy. So I can deep strike within 3 inches if this guy's nearby, basically.
Oh, damn.
Yeah, super cool. Yep, Trahan, he has an ability to give me a 3 stratagem once per game. He gives reroll 1s to hit and wound. He's a beat stick in melee and has a 3 up invul. He's super strong, tanky. Yeah. So that is the Custodes part. This is a Vanguard. Yeah. Then I have Constantine Valdor, also sadly known as Gilliman. It is Gilliman. I just call him Valdor because I like Valdor. Gilliman is weird. Yeah, so basically, it's Gilliman. He gives reroll 1s to all Imperium units, including Custodes, obviously. He gives +1 to charge, +1 to advance, and reroll morale to all Imperium. So basically, he gives off a ton of really useful auras to Custodes, and he is basically a knight in melee. He does flat 4 damage, strength 16, strength 12. He's super deadly, and he's decent shooting. Yeah, and then after that, I have finally my guard. This is it's a patrol. Not that it matters. It could be a battalion, but yeah, doesn't really matter. Yeah, so 3 units of guardsmen. Nothing special about them, and then 2 tank commanders. This tank commander is a little bit special in that he has. I've given him a tank ace for 1 CP, which makes him he takes -1 damage from all shooting attacks, or all attacks that hit him. And they both have Demolish Your Siege Cannons, which are strength 10, AP3, D6 damage, and 1 last cannon each, and that is their weapon. Yeah, and the regiment is It gives so it's spotter details, and the other one's called, I don't know, expert gunners, I think, or something. Basically, it gives them +6 range, so the Demolisher siege cannons are 30-inch range instead of 24. And the it also gives them they can reroll the amount of shots they have per guy. Yeah, and that's my list. Gilliman is the warlord. He does not. His warlord trait does nothing. It only works on Ultramarines, and it doesn't work on him. But instead, he gives me 3 CP for being the warlord. So all in all, I pay 3 CP for this detachment. So I start at 15. I pay 3 CP for this detachment, taking me down to 11. Hold on. Did I? No, taking me down to 12. And I pay 1 CP for a tank ace, taking me down to 11. Yeah. And that is my list. Patrol is 2, yeah, but the patrol, I get the patrol for free. Gilliman, so the way Gilliman works is, the way Supreme Commanders work is that if you have a Supreme Commander, that is your warlord, he refunds one of your primary detachment. He cannot, he can only refund battalions or patrols, so it doesn't matter which one this is, because it's free. But he can't refund this one. He can only refund the guard part. So he makes it 3, so it costs no CP. Yeah. Yeah, okay. Any questions? Cool. Alright. Yeah. On to you. Hold on. They say you have Discord muted right now. Your own Discord, so they can't hear you.
Hey, I knew it.
Yeah. Or something.
Alright. So it's a Marge Forge World Army. It is my warlord is the Engine Seer. He's got the divinations of the Magos warlord trait, so I'm gonna be taking the one that has all the units, gives them all exploding 6s, units within 6 inches during the shooting phase.
Yep, standard.
He also has Raiment of the Technomancer, which gives him a 6-up invuln. Not invuln, feel no pain.
Feel no pain?
And he's also going to be healing units.
Cool.
Vehicles. I also brought Belisarius Call, and I used as 1 CP to give him the Mechanicus Locum, so he has his Warlord trait, so his aura is increased to 9 inches. And he, of course,
Don't worry, boys. I'm still here. I'm
gives
just
every unit
allowing you
within
guys.
his aura, he allows him to reroll missed hit rolls. I also brought along Daedalosis.
Yeah, so what does the Daedalosis do again? I don't remember.
He allows me to mark a unit and increase hit rolls by 1 against that one specific unit during the shooting phase.
Cool. How far away? Like what range?
Let me check. Daedalosis. Yeah, it's 24 inches.
Cool. Alright.
Also, my troops are all going to be Cataphront Breachers. I brought 3 units of 3 each, just with the Arc Claw and Arc Rifles.
Cool.
I also brought along 1 unit of 5 Iron Striders, each with 2 twin Cognis autocannons on all of them. Just left them the way they were. And I have 2 units of 5 Cerberus Raiders. I'm mainly just going to be using them to move up the board and get on objectives.
Yep. And they have the character targeting ability and the move before the game, right?
Yeah, they're like scouts. They can move out before the game. 9 inches. I also have the Castellan robots, 1 unit of 4 Castellan robots. They all have the phosphor blasters.
Cool. So what, like 8 shots a dude or something?
I think it's 9.
9? Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
Then the 2 another Dune Crawlers, each with an Icarus array. So that's always going to be -1 to hit unless it's a flyer, but I'm just hoping Belisarius Tall helps out on that front.
Yep.
Thanks for the sub, Hibiki.
And then the Stratoraptor as a flyer, with a chaff launcher as well. So that makes him harder to hit.
Yeah, that makes. What is the shaft launcher doing? Like -1 damage, or I don't remember.
Yeah, -1.
Okay, so he's essentially done. We're kind of essentially done with these lists here, huh?
Blast cannons and what is it?
Yeah, so
Yeah, 2 Cognis.
the lists have mostly
blast
been
cannons,
introduced at this point.
2 heavy phosphor blasters and 2
And
Cognis.
it's going to be interesting to see how it plays on turn 1. So this map,
Well, awesome. That's a
all
cool
the
list, man.
cover is relatively
It's gonna be
low,
the first time.
and there are
I've
only a
played
few
lot of
spots where you
Admec,
can really
but,
hide
it's
vehicles.
the first time
to
I
start
don't have
with.
to deal with the
Hey, Aladaris, you're forgetting the push to talk priority.
what they
Yeah,
call
let
the
me go
tanks.
turn that on.
Oh, yeah.
I think the Admec is going
Cool.
to have
Alright, so
advantage on this match.
yeah, so
because
to pick
it's
secondary
a really open map.
You know what I think is really interesting is seeing this amazing soup. Now we thought that soup was done, right?
I'm going to pick the
Like
vehicle thing. Bring it down.
we saw that with the new structure of detachments and all this stuff going on, it was a very heavy hit to soup lists in general. But here we have a soup of Imperium, Ultramarines, and the Custodes.
Yeah, but sorry.
It's interesting because what really enables it actually is Gilliman being the 3rd detachment
Yeah.
refunding
It's very easy
one
to
of
score
your
this against
previous
Admec
battalion
nowadays.
or your previous patrol. So really, he's actually only paying for the Vanguard detachment for the Custodes, which is it's an interesting take on it, and I do like it.
Yeah, I quite like the soup idea, and as you guys said, Gilliman is basically allowing it to happen. No disadvantages.
The interesting this game I think is going to be really what can the Mechanicus player get done turn 1. So a lot of his weapons are actually
So I'm gonna
quite
bring it
ineffective
down, raise
against
banners
the Custodian
probably.
Guard themselves. They have a stratum to ignore
Normally I
AP
take
minus
random
1 and I
down.
think also AP
Usually
minus
don't
2,
have this much guards.
which is basically the
Too
entirety of the Mechanicum list. So a lot of that fire is going to be actually pretty ineffectual. The Custom robots, if they get Wrath of Mars, can pump out a decent amount of mortal wounds, but he needs to be careful with them and make sure they don't get charged. Otherwise, that's basically his best weapon gone down the drain. The other parts of the army will find it very difficult to deal with the custodian part of the list.
By the way, you're still forgetting that push to talk priority. You'll actually, if you open up your Discord and look at it, it'll show you a small dot right next to your name. So it'll be like this. That'll let you know if you're under priority.
I think we'll be able to tell much more once they deployed, like who is going to have the advantage in this fight but with an open map like this, I think Admec is definitely has the advantage so far.
This thing stands cover. Terrain.
I definitely find this interesting. This Admec list pretty interesting. I haven't seen the Iron Striders much, but the Cerberus Raiders are quite effective, as I'm told. So it'll be pretty interesting to see those guys played on a competitive level. On paper, they sound extremely fantastic. They have the ability to do a forward move at the end of the deployment. They also have the ability to shoot at characters. They're basically rangers on these mounts here.
Yeah, what other secondary do I want?
Yeah, they seems to be quite interesting. The only thing I don't really like in the Admec list is the robots. I don't think they are effective enough, but I like the addition of the Iron Striders.
I'm gonna go thin their range.
Yeah, the robots have become very expensive for what they do. They're still a good source of firepower, but considering how expensive they are and how fragile they can be, it's often a risk to run them.
No, but yeah, then you have it by 10, right, or something. So you need to kill like.
I suspect he's just going to park those guys somewhere where they have a good advantage on the board, and then use the protocols that allow them to double their fire. Is that how? Am I remembering that correctly?
Yeah.
That's basically how you use them. You run them to the center of the board, you make them turn into double shoot mode, and you let them sit there for the rest of the game. The problem with doing that this game, though, is the Vexella can basically walk up to them and then put a bunch of LRs within 3 inches of the robots and have a guaranteed charge, and then just wipe them off the board in melee if the Mechanicus player isn't careful.
Yep. I think Dreadhost has a stratagem to roll 3d6 for the charge and pick the 2 highest,
So I got my.
if I remember correctly.
Advice.
Yeah, they do. And when you combine that with the fact that you can place them very close to your army, it doesn't look good. You need to be very careful.
And one thing I'm seeing here, though, is we're on a short deployment here. We're playing on Hammer and Anvil, or I'm sorry, Scorched Earth now.
Still, I mean, it's like the only kill secondary you can do.
This is really, in my opinion, this is favoring, this deployment is really favoring Custodes. I think that this is exactly how you want to be in a deployment.
Difficult still. Like, it's not. My list is made to be hard to
Yeah, I totally agree. The deployment is favoring the Custodes, but I think the map is quite favorable for the Admec.
Otherwise, it's
On the other hand,
control, you know, like domination, holding 4 objectives. Difficult.
Yeah, it's really going to be
You do have those guys.
up to the Mechanics player to really take the initiative.
Scramblers, and you can have
One
your-
key issue with the Archaeoraptor, the Stratoraptor, is I don't believe it actually has a -1 to hit innately built into the aircraft. It just has -1 damage from the shaft launcher. I'll need to double check on that. But it's actually a very fragile target that the tank commanders would easily be able to knock out of the sky. And the tank commanders are really all that's going to be on the board, probably hidden behind a building. So
Yeah, I don't know.
it's going to be tough to see if the mechanics player can actually get anything done on turn 1.
Yeah, trying to think of what I would do.
Yeah, I'm looking at this Admec list, and it looks pretty deathly for Adeptus Custodes, but I gotta say, I'm kind of excited to see this freaking amazing soup. I mean, Gilliman, come on, dude.
Yeah, I think it. Personally, I would say this game favors the soup list just because of the weapon profiles. It's really going to be hard to make it past those 2-up saves when they can drop your AP down to 0 for a very cheap stratagem.
Okay, that's interesting. So we have Joko here. He says that it's favored in Admec, and you're saying that it's favored for Custodes. So
You could do while we stand maybe.
I'm gonna come in. I'm gonna go in the middle. I'm gonna take the middle ground. I'm gonna say that Admec looks favored just because of their weapon profiles, with a bias to Adeptus Custodes. So I'll be rooting on Adeptus Custodes, but with the consideration that Admec might have a slight advantage.
I think if he can split up his forces so the Terminators has to take one side, he has quite the favor. But I think it's going to be come down to deployment, how they are going to deploy.
If I kill them, then you're in trouble. But you know, if you can keep them alive, it's pretty good.
What about chat? What do you think, chat? Who do you favor to win this? What do you think? Who's more favored to win this? Let us know in the chat.
Yep.
Let me just find it. Alright.
Yep.
So yeah, it's the call and a Doomcrawler and the Stratoraptor then.
Cool. So mark which Doomcrawler. Just write like a, you know, mark or something on it. Yeah. All right. So I guess we're ready then. Ready to begin.
All right, let's go ahead and take this chance really quick to take a look at the secondaries that were selected.
Okay.
Alright.
I rolled a 4. So I think they deleted the mat on your side because they want us to use the same one.
Okay.
Yeah. Because if you use the same one, then they can easily look at it. Cool.
Alright, makes sense.
So I get to pick. I'm going to be. Sure. Like you can deploy first unit. I think that means you're a defender, if I remember correctly. Or maybe attacker deploys first unit.
Yeah, I thought Attacker deployed first.
Yeah, probably.
So yeah, let's take a look at these secondaries. Now, I'll go ahead and admit, and again, this is why today we're streaming. I don't know what the GT secondary objectives are.
Someone can correct me if I did that wrong, but I think it's correct. It almost never matters.
Yeah, so their secondaries are split into several different categories. You've got Purge the Enemy, which is generally kill whatever your opponent has. There's some Special Ops, which usually involves having a unit hold an objective or take an action doing nothing but committing itself to helping you score points. There's some Psyche-related ones where you need to pass a Psychic test and not cast any of their spells for the turn. So it's very varied, but mostly focused on getting things done in specific places around the board.
So that too.
Also, every mission I think has a special objective for them.
The guardsman squads.
All right, so this very much reminds me of what ITC was on these secondary objectives, with the exception of a few of these here. I do know that you've got your primary objectives, and just in case for anybody that doesn't know and are new to the competitive scene and grand tournament format, you are able to score if you hold an objective. I believe it's 5 victory points. So you score 5 victory points if you hold one objective. You score an additional 5 if you hold 2, and then an additional 5 if you hold more than your opponent. So they're each battle round, up to 15 points are up for grab, just in the primary objectives. Now, for those secondary objectives that they selected, a few of them sound a little bit familiar. I think one of them is like, Big Game Hunter.
Yes.
Here, let's just go through them, guys, really quick.
So
we have here. This is bring it down. Okay, score 2 victory points at the end of the battle for each enemy monster or vehicle model with a wounds characteristics of 10 or less that is destroyed, and 2 victory points for each enemy monster or vehicle model with a wound characteristics of 11 or more that is destroyed. So basically, Big Game Hunter. Progressive. Okay, engage on all fronts. Score 2 victory points at the end of your turn if you have 1 or more units from your army wholly within 3 table quarters. That sounds a little bit like recon, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's basically recon.
All right. I'm not gonna. The other ones have a lot of text. Joko, do you know the other ones?
Yes, raise the banner high is basically you park an infantry model on an objective, you place a banner as an action, so you can't shoot, can't fight, can't do anything on that turn. And in the next command phase, for every banner, you get one victory point. And at the end of the game, every banner, you get one victory point as well. I honestly don't like the raise the banner choice on the Custodes side, and I really don't like the vibe stand we fight choice on the Admec side.
But Matt's is AP -3.
Because you have to keep your 3 most valuable units alive, and I don't think the Admec will be able to do that, and that's a 15-point swing.
There is a max that you can score on each of these secondary objectives, right? That was 15?
Yes.
Okay, cool. I'm getting into the swing of it, and I'm sure a lot of players, this is a new edition, we're all getting used to it together. Thank you for that breakdown, man.
So...
Cool. Yeah, so that's done.
Yeah, so the interesting about raise the banners here is that it can be quite easy to raise 2 banners, since you have 2 ruins, and the Custodes unit is probably not going to be dying on turn 1. So normally when you take an action, you completely shut down what the unit does for that turn. Notably, the Custodes units aren't really going to be shooting, so you can actually have your characters themselves raise the banner. So Trajan might not be doing anything turn 1, his rerolls might not be relevant, so you can just have him sit on objective and take the action. So it would be interesting to see what units he uses to do that.
Yeah. The advantage of that is I don't think you have to stay on the objective, you just have to plant a banner, which is quite good, but I don't think he will have enough infantry to actually do it.
Down there.
I think the infantry squads are gonna die quite early.
Oh, did I just place the wrong... This is the wrong squad, isn't it? Yeah, it is. Sorry. This is supposed to be the other squad. This is the squad that's in Deep Strike. Lol.
Alright, so both players are deploying here. It looks like Custodes is pretty much doubling down here in the center of the board. Getting his Terminators out.
Yeah, he misplaced his big... He wanted to destruct his big squad and leave his smaller squad on the board. He doesn't mind doing this because there's very little that can actually threaten the Custodes on the board at the moment. So it still seems like a bit of a risk to place them down this early, though.
Yeah, I thought about that. Like, wouldn't it have been... Well, I think maybe it would have been more beneficial to have these units deep strike, or...
Triamaloris.
So I think the idea is you want to use them to bait parts of the other army out of position, but it's a very big target that, especially if the Admec player pops Wrath of Mars early, they can take quite a bit of damage.
Yeah, I don't think it's a good idea to start them on the board. They're just going to get shut down because they're quite so slow, right? Like 6-inch move, and yeah.
Yeah, they do only have a 6-inch move. I think Gilliman does provide +1 either to their advance or movement rolls, but it's still going to take them a while to really get anywhere.
Yeah, he's gonna go there. At least I think so. Hold on. There we go.
Right.
As long as you still can't see him.
Yeah, I think that there's a lot of
Sorry, I'll tell you when I'm done fiddling with him.
I think there's a lot of I think it's very interesting. I think that when this game plays out, I think we're going to be looking a lot to the deployment of these custodes, but you know, it could be very much a mind game too. I think that this could be just a draw.
I guess I can just do this actually.
I think it's gonna be decided because of that secondary choice. I think the Blighty stand fight was a huge mistake. He has to keep Crawl, the Flyer, and one of the Doom Crawlers alive, basically.
Yeah, and it's an interesting choice where he placed his second tank commander. The central piece of terrain does have the obscuring rule, so as long as he's not on it, it basically will block all line of sight that goes past that piece of terrain. Putting one tank on top of it, though, means that it can be seen. You can just draw a line to it, and you can see it. So it's an interesting choice where you place a second tank, I think.
This is Commissar hats too. Like the Commissar on top is too big.
Yeah, I'd say that's too bad.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. We can stand there though. Good.
So something that we neglected to really talk about this game is actually the map itself.
Stand.
What are your thoughts here?
Not clipping.
None of these. Go ahead.
As I said, I think it's a very open map, and it favors the Admec quite a lot. But there are a few hiding places, but it's yeah, quite open.
But I mean, I've had people do stuff.
Yeah, there's a lot of dense cover, but since the Custodes player already has a -1 to hit built into the Excel's Praetor, it's going to be the dense cover matters a little bit less. So.
She isn't. Yeah. The last cannon's right.
Yeah, we don't have too much obscuring here, so yeah, I definitely say that this is actually deceptively more open than what meets the eyes.
All right. All right. I'm gonna throw some more breachers down over here on this side.
Cool.
That's a very interesting placement for breachers, do you think?
Yep.
Cool.
So it's pretty evident he wants to contest the middle objective, which is not something those breachers are going to be well equipped to do. They can take out guardsmen, but they'll have a tough time with the custodian guard. Unless he thinks he can completely wipe them out in shooting, which is going to be difficult, but is possible.
I think what we're seeing here is actually a mind game
He's just gonna go there.
maybe paying off a little bit, if will. I mean, just setting up those custodes, kind of baiting these boys on the side here, does seem to pull away from the more favorable targets.
Your turn.
But these onagers, Yeah, as we see these guys deploy, we're gonna really be able to what these guys are planning to do in this game. This is the first time I've actually seen this
So
unit.
remember that no part of the model can be off the map. Yeah.
Is that all right if I just put them there?
I wonder if we're going to be able to see the new way, the way that flyers interact with the new 9th edition rules this game.
Limited movement, right? You could be It's 50 or 60.
Yeah.
Is this like a helicopter? Does it glide? Or is it a hovercraft?
I think it's technically supposed to be a hovercraft. That I'm not actually sure.
I kind of wish.
It's an aircraft and it does have the -1 to it. The Star Raptor.
Okay, got it.
Alright. I'll place another guardsman squad.
I'm surprised he only brought one of those flyers. They are really good and they are surprisingly tanky.
And this is the very first time I've seen it. Is this a new unit for Admec?
Yeah, I think it came out quite recently. Maybe was it with Engine War?
Yes, it was with Engine War.
Yeah, so it's got -1 to hit. It's got -1 damage. I think it's still T7, so decent toughness there, and yeah, it's just, and it's also pretty well armed. It's got a twin Cartier Blast Cannon. I think it's got 2 phosphor blasters, and something else. I can't remember off the top of my head, but it can do a good chunk of damage.
Also, you can make it like have a 2-up armor save against shooting with shroud spam. So it's reasonably tanky, especially against damage 2 weapons.
Right here we see Faith. He's tucking away some more infantry.
Yeah, the intention is they're not seen through here. I guess maybe. I think it should be possible to do.
Oh, right, and aircraft has better turning rules than Eldar flyers. It can basically turn any time of the movement, so we will see some weird fly shenanigans.
So that's actually interesting to me. So you're saying that this thing is never going to fly off the board edge?
Yep.
I'm assuming it's got some kind of special rules that allow it to just kind of...
Yeah.
So
It-
through this
It
window, right?
can basically turn twice. So
Ah.
it can turn when it starts moving, and it can turn anytime during its movement.
Yeah. So they're not visible through that window, basically.
Yeah.
Unless you
Alright.
see from the side. Cool.
Yeah,
Right.
makes sense.
Yeah, throw it out.
Oh, it could fly backwards too. That sounds ridiculous. That wow. Ooh, here we got
So what I'd
the
like to see is him to not go for the Custodes unit at all because of the stratagem. I believe it's Arasite or Aramite.
They can actually move.
Aramite and Adamantium, that's what it's called. So that reduces AP2 to AP0. And that means your Catapult Breachers are going to be AP0, your Cerberus Raiders are going to be AP0, your Castellan Robots are going to be AP0, your Dune Crawlers for the most part are AP0. Your entire list goes from AP-1 and 2 to AP0.
Correct me.
And that's really a waste of firepower if you just dump everything into that one Alaris unit. I would like to see him try to get line of sight on the tank commanders and take them out.
Inches, I think.
You think the tank commanders are going to be that much of a threat that he wants to ignore the Custodes?
It's because I don't know, maybe.
Well, the idea is the Custodes are going to have 2-up saves on everything, so your shooting doesn't really matter against that.
Cool.
So
Yeah. So
the tank commanders, especially with the Demolisher cannons, are 2d6 shots that he can reroll with d6 damage per shot, I believe, at a very high AP. So those are definitely the most dangerous things on the board right now. On turn 1.
I understand. It just kind of feels a little bit like he's stuck a little bit in a rock and a hard place. And I mean, you don't want these Custodes getting into melee combat with your Admec units. But I suppose the way that he's positioned a bit to the far off there, I mean, that he's not going to really have that threat. He's splitting his deployment.
Which is, I think, a really good idea, trying to avoid the Custodes Terminators because they are really slow.
Yeah, really, if you can prevent them from having their infantry sit on the board. Like one group of Alaris is not going to hold enough objectives, and if you can hold all of the stuff on your board, you kill out 2 tank commanders, you should be able to win off of just primaries as
I
well.
have 2 drops left.
Okay, cool.
And so, in that sense, how do you think that Custodes plays to this game? What does Custodes have to do to avoid that situation where they're being outscored?
I think they actually need to devote the one group of Custodes on the board, right? They have right now just to try and contest primaries in the middle of the board, and then you use the deep striking units to try and knock out the Custodian robots. Because those, with mortal wound generation, those are the things that are actually going to be able to hurt your units. And he wants to get everything into melee combat, or at least one unit into melee combat as quickly as possible, because you can only use a stratagem that negates AP on one unit. And the unit that doesn't have that stratagem on is going to just get shot to pieces.
Right, I'll put call right there.
Cool. Yeah.
I think one thing that we should really be looking out for is how he's going to choose to use his raiders. They're going to be able to do a forward move after this deployment is decided. I think that will...
Yeah, I think it's very important for him to not move them too far up the board, especially if he's going first. The problem with that is you're basically giving the Custodes player a free charge and extra movement up the board, which is something he would love to do.
Do you know how many shots the Raiders have?
I think they each have a Galvanic Carbine, which is Assault 2.
I cannot recall off the top of my head.
Yep.
I am wishing that he imported them with TTS so we can open up the profiles on these units. Unfortunately, that's something that we're not going to be able to. Okay, so there's a placement of the Iron Striders. Right, dead, middle, in the center.
Normally, these are a very good unit because you can get them to hit on 2s for 1 CP, and then combine that with Call. You're basically hitting all your shots. But when you're facing T8 in the form of the tank commanders, you're wounding on 5s, which isn't great, and when you're AP 0, you're also not great versus the Alaris. But you can always hope that Faith rolls 1s on all of his armor saves.
And knowing Fate's luck, that might very well happen.
I mean, I've done it before. Okay, doubling down here on the center as well with more guardsmen. Oh yeah, he's definitely marching them down. The guardsmen are deceptively fast, so you're able to issue orders. He is still able to issue orders here, right?
He would be if he had any company commanders, which he doesn't.
Oh, he doesn't. Okay, so he can't even. Okay, that's really interesting. You would want to take guard for
And that's me done.
orders, right?
This year.
I think guard orders are nice, and it does make your infantry the best infantry in the game for base troops. But at this point, I think he's just looking to use the tank commanders for extra long-range firepower with the bucked-up demolisher cannons and the 6 inches of extra range.
I see. Makes not really caring about too much of the guardsmen. It's just really just bringing those tank commanders.
Yeah, because the problem with running company commanders and guardsmen is, yes, they're fast, but you don't have enough of them. And one unit on an objective is just going to die. So they're still very fragile units at the same time.
Alright, so now we're actually seeing the deployment of the robots. They're right there in the center, in the middle.
Yep, in the center, as far away from the custodians as possible.
Well, you definitely want them to get as much line of sight as they possibly can. I feel. But I can only imagine him using a way where he pops their protocols where they can't even move anymore, so. You think maybe better placement would have been on top of that building? Not.
I believe the robots are vehicles anyways, so I don't think they can actually stand up there.
Are they?
They are vehicles, yes.
Oh, okay. It's just that I've seen Custodes propped up on top of things before in the past.
I feel like
Sorry, go ahead.
I was saying, like, I feel like the Admec player has two really key units for victory. One of them is the robots, the other are the raiders, because they can actually bring down the custodians with enough mortal wounds. But he could also choose to outmaneuver them, basically.
Yeah, and with the robots coming on, so I think it was, this is one of the reasons I didn't really agree with the placing of the custodian guards so early, especially the Vexella. The Vexella is really the most important unit in your army right now, and it's one where you really want to try and get it as close to the enemy as you can. And quite frankly, right now it's kind of far away from the other robots.
Well, maybe can you give us a refresher on what the Vexella actually does for him?
So the Vexella provides a -1 to hit aura, first of all, which is very good, but against call and with so much dense cover on the sides of the firing lines, it's actually not super helpful. The more important thing with the Vexella is it gives you access to a stratagem which allows you to deep strike within 6 inches of the Vexella and more than 3 inches away from any enemy units. So this can allow you to have a 3-inch charge out of deep strike on turn 2, which can be very, very strong because it's a guaranteed way to get in.
Alright then. I'm gonna roll for my tentacles.
Makes sense.
Oh, I swapped the 2.
I just accidentally. Oh, that screwed everything up, didn't it? No. Looks good.
I swapped the Litany of the Electromancer for the Mars Tentacle. It's
Cool.
the +1 heavy weapons.
Yeah, makes sense. Oh, the objectives are floating. Whoops.
Alright, so I'm going to use Call's ability to turn the 1 into a 2, and the 5 into a 4 for Shroud Psalm. So all my units,
Have cover?
they're, yeah.
Cool. So you have cover and you are +1 strength on weapons, right?
Yeah.
Cool. Heavy weapons, but yeah.
And
Awesome.
I'm gonna move the Raiders out, I think.
Yep. Go right ahead.
We launched a quick poll for chat there. Who do you think is going to win? Admec or Custodes? Let us know.
Oh wait, why is my G-Man back here? He was right up against the guys. Right? He was. I'm not dreaming when I say that, right?
Sorry, what?
Well, all of a sudden my G-Man was back here. I think that was because I accidentally did the thing. He was supposed to be here, right?
You're good.
Yeah, cool. Alright, thank you. Yeah, sorry about that. I clicked the wrong thing. I was gonna remove the deployment zones. Fuck, can you do that? Oh yeah, you press start game. That's what you do, right? Cool. Yeah, there we go. Fix it, right? Yep. Does this look weird to you? It does to me. Oh, well, it works. Sorry, go on.
Right, so we're seeing the raiders being moved up towards the middle of the board here.
You can go.
Cool. All right. Time to move.
I think this does make sense. After all, even though vehicles can shoot while they're engaged in melee, now you cannot shoot blast weapons. And importantly, the tank commander's weapons are blast. So if you can charge that, and then you can basically make it useless. In addition, he's only got one group of guardsmen on that side of the map holding the objective. So if you can kill those guardsmen, then it's going to be hard for the Custodes player to really get anything else to that side of the map.
Right now, the chat thinks Admec is heavily favored.
It's quiet.
And based off of the current deployment, I would agree. I think it's definitely going to be an uphill struggle for the Custodes, but if the Admec player makes a mistake and really allows the Custodes player to get in, then it's anyone's game.
Castellan robots start out in Aegis protocol, right? So they have like a 5-up inmol or something? 4-up?
Yeah, I agree. It's pretty much favored in the Admec's favor at the moment, but Custodes still have a chance to win it. Especially if the Admec player is making a mistake. I don't think he is sending out the raiders to actually charge stuff, just to grab the objective and push them back, don't allow them space to move, take the middle of the board with them.
Cool, alright. Stuff to do.
I have a theory here, okay?
Shoot it down.
Admec is an incredibly strong and fearsome list, especially here in 9th edition. But also with that power comes a great responsibility to know all the rules of this faction. Would you agree if I were to say that Admec was a wheelchair class?
So let's start with the Alaris Custodians. They're going to advance.
What do you mean by that?
I mean a wheelchair class, right? I'm sorry, a wheelchair faction, right? A faction that performs better the more knowledge that you have, and does substantially poorer with the less knowledge that you do.
I would say I don't necessarily agree with that. I think they just have some very cost-effective units, and that's what makes them really good right now. Honestly, the stratagems aren't too complicated, I would say. Mostly, you can use them for +1 to hit. There's a couple of things, like the raiders, you can use them to fall back after they get charged, to mess with people. But I don't think it's actually an overly difficult army to play compared to other gun lines. I think most gunline armies are pretty straightforward. It's just you have a lot more profiles to deal with.
Yeah,
What about all the special rules?
This thing is
Like for the abilities of the units and the chapter tactic, where I believe it was the Canticles?
Yeah, so Admec players just need to remember one number, and that is 4. You do not care about really anything else other than the number 4 for Canticles, which is Shroud Psalm for a +1 cover save. Everything else, honestly, I recommend you grab a book for, because I played Admec for a little while and I still don't remember it either.
cool. Excel Praetor is going to advance.
I would not completely agree on it, but yeah, you pretty much have to remember 4, and if you're on Mars, you will pretty much always switch off number 2 to your Mars-specific one for the +1 strength. It's, again, quite useful. But I don't think Admec is quite difficult to play, but it's obviously going to perform better in better players' hands.
Dense cover.
But I think that's true for
This
all
guy is
factions.
basically gonna move 5 inches this way.
Alright.
All right, so this is very interesting. We have Custodes actually taking turn 1,
Cool.
and we see the Alaris marching down the midfield of the map here.
30 of them care.
Yeah, I think this is really what the Custodes player needed to go first, because when you get the earlier charge, you'll need to survive 1 turn of shooting. And with 2 tank commanders with Demolisher cannons, he should be able to get both of them within 30 inches of something valuable, most likely the Castellan robots, and hopefully knock some of them off the board. Because 46 shots at strength 10, AP minus 3, and D6 damage is quite strong.
What's the robot say with the starting protocol? Like their inverted saves?
They have a 4-up invuln, which means that they are difficult to kill, but when there are only 6 wounds and you have an average of like 14 shots, you should be able to get 1 or 2 of them down.
All right, we see here that the guardsmen are advancing here. They got just enough into the objective range. Well done on the guardsmen there.
They got a job and they're probably going to die for it, but that's what they're there for.
Or the Emperor.
Well, we will be able to get that hold 2 objectives now. Well, actually, he would have got it anyway. Oh, no. Command phase is at the start of the turn. Never mind. That's a change that happened. What's really gonna matter is how much actually survives. All right, so we're movement for the Captain General, Trajan.
Oh, he's moving forward quite boldly.
Oh, he actually did get a 6 on his advance, so he was actually able to get him out quite far.
The interesting thing is, due to the changes to the Lookout Sir rule, it's a little bit more difficult to protect your characters, and if that front squad of guardsmen dies, there's actually going to be quite a few units that are going to be able to shoot at Trajan. And without the stratagem, which he will have to pop on the Alaris Custodians, Trajan might actually take a good chunk of damage.
If you raise the banner, you can't shoot. Right? Or is that?
Nope. Yep.
2-up armor save and a 3-up invul.
Yeah, but a lot of the weapons that the Admec is fielding is AP minus 1 and AP minus 2, so...
Taking that 3-up invul.
Yep. But, so, the invuln's not going to do much, and the Admec's a lot of flat 2 damage in the Iron Sword Ballistari, that's 20 shots. Hitting on 2s, usually re-rolling 1s, and then the Breachers are also going to be D3 damage at AP minus 2. So,
Yikes.
It can be... If he's not careful, Trajan can actually very easily die.
Don't hear those words very often.
It's still going to take a good chunk of the army to kill Trajan, probably. But... Oh, is the terrain next to Trojan obscuring?
It is not. It is only dense cover.
Oh yeah, did he actually deep strike anything? Oh, he did?
Yes. He has 1 6-man squad of Alaris sitting in the back.
Cool. He can shoot at them. And he did not move more than 5.
You know, I'm really looking at this board. And yeah, I think I understand it. Like, yeah.
Cool.
There isn't enough staying power, or at least one squad of the codes in there. The Terminators? The Alaris?
Yeah, so one interesting thing I think the Admec player can consider is really shooting the Onagers and all the stuff on the far right just to kill Infantry Squad 1, and then having the Iron Sword Ballistari, all the Breachers moving closer and just snipe Trajan. I think you can actually quite easily get a pretty important kill there.
There's this wall. They're not advancing.
All right.
How important do you think target priority is going to be for Admec this turn 1?
As long as you don't dump too much into the Alaris, I don't think it matters too much what they shoot. it's actually quite difficult for him to kill too much, just due to range. But if you can knock out the tank commanders and the guards and start chipping out the guardsman count, I think he's got a very good chance.
I think the target priority is going to be much more important for the Custodes player.
I see.
So let's do this just to mark banners.
I'm just kind of wondering if there's any situation in which the Custodes player can punish Admec on this following turn.
G-Man is going to move.
So it's very interesting to see Gilliman being played competitively again. What does Gilliman actually bring to the table, and why would someone consider bringing him in a list?
Command points.
Command points, right?
Yeah, I think the biggest draw is that he does give you the 3 extra command points in addition to refunding whatever else you are running, like your battalion and whatnot. So that's good. He also brings reroll 1s to everyone.
That is it for movement.
So if you don't have another source of that, always solid to have.
To the shooting phase.
But other than that, he's really just a big melee beat stick that people don't want to charge. So unfortunately, that's not too relevant here, and it's really going to take a while for Gilliman to get anywhere.
This guy is going to do reroll 1s. And yeah, should be it for orders. On to shooting. So yeah, so this tank commander is going to shoot into the Iron Striders.
Interesting.
Yeah, and I'm going to pay 2 CP. I gain 1 at the start of my turn. You did too, by the way, so you gain 1.
Oh, yeah.
No problem. I forget it too, all the time. Yeah, so tank commander's gonna pay 2 CP to max shots, and he's gonna shoot at the Iron Striders. Last story.
Okay.
Yeah, so this is going to be 12 shots coming out, which might legitimately wipe out the entire squad of Balistari.
Less than half, so he.
Yeah, pretty much. Hitting on 3, wounding on 3, 6 up save against that.
Cool.
It's going to be damaging at least.
4 shots, hitting on 3s, rolling 1s, because Gilliman's nearby. Cool.
All
It's a
right.
bit of a rough roll, that happens. Wounding on your T,
Toughness,
what,
it's-
6? Yeah, so 3s.
Yeah.
Oh! What a
Okay.
horrible roll. Don't want to CP one of those, they're all 6 up saves. I'll CP one of the wound rolls.
Alright.
Yeah, that's
Oof.
cool. Alright, 4 wounds. Unlucky. So 4 wounds. AP 3.
Alright.
So 6 ups, I believe.
Alright, yep.
Nice, you made one.
So they have 6
Cool.
wounds each, so 3 wounds.
So let's do the first D6. 5, so that kills 1. And then the second one takes 5. Cool.
So a bit of a disappointing roll, I'm sure that Faith was expecting to at least 2, hopefully 3.
And then the last cannon hits, wounds, 6 up save. Oh, okay, so it kills the second one too. So I killed 2 Balistari, that was actually really low roll, but that happens. Cool. Alright, on to more shooting.
But it was a little bit averaged out there, wasn't it?
It's Valdor and the tank.
Well, his damage rolls were excessively high, unfortunately. But his hit rolls were
So 2d6 shots with the
slightly below average. You probably could have gotten 1 more. and his wound rolls were actually pretty bad. He could have gotten 1 to 2 more wounds there. So, he probably on average kills 1 more Ballistari, but it's not too far off.
Freeze rolling once.
Okay, that's below average.
Yes, I think.
And we can see Fate's luck in work.
Okay, 2 hits out of 5. Okay, hitting on, winning
that's
on
3.
2s. Yeah. That's 2 wounds, AP 3.
Alright. So, 6 up save.
Yeah, 6 up save.
Alright.
Cool. Yeah,
1
d6 damage each. No, d6. Watch me fail to kill. Okay, that kills 1.
Yep.
Kills 2. Cool. So 2 dead.
Alright.
And then last cannon. Hits. Wounds. So 6 up save. Cool. D6 damage. And kill him. Cool. So 2 live. And yeah, then it's just Gilliman left. And he is out of range. Like checked earlier. Unfortunate. Yeah, so you want to shoot him at. Guess I might try and kill a raider. No. Alright, so he's gonna shoot at the Siberis raiders. Yeah, so 3 shots because he's not in rough fire range. Yeah, because they don't degrade and there's no way I need to get all 3 through. Alright, hitting on, yeah, Siberis raiders hitting on 2s, rolling 1s. 3s because you're behind that thing. And then wounding you on 2s, rolling 1s. Strength 6 and your T3, right?
Yep.
And AP 1, so 4 up save, I believe.
Right.
So 2 go through, and that's 1.
So how much damage is that? How
So
much
1
damage
dice.
is that?
2 each, so 4 damage total.
So that's very interesting. I don't think he nearly killed enough to have a nice,
Really rough.
smooth turn
Yeah. Don't you hear me? Hello?
on Admec here.
Hello?
Yeah, I think the units that he killed also aren't hugely relevant. There's the Cerberus Raiders I think he had to shoot, otherwise we're just going to charge the team commander, and that unit's going to be useless. I think that's going to happen anyways. The Ballistari, once again, because it's only AP -1, not the most important unit to kill either.
Change that button.
Do you think there's anything else that he could have targeted other than the Belisari? That might be a little bit more worth?
I think the Castellan robots, even if they have a 4-up invuln, they're much more relevant and impactful,
That is my turn.
especially going to the next couple turns. Obviously, he would just like to charge them, but if you can knock out 1 or 2 here and there, it does make your job down the line a bit easier.
Things.
I
That's it.
don't think, like, if you want to charge them, they are going to melt in melee. I don't think they have an invulsive against melee attacks. So if you manage to touch those robots, they are dead. But it might still be better to shoot something else than the Iron Striders, because they are really not the most dangerous units Admec has.
Next couple of turns, they survive. So that's really not what I needed from them.
Yeah, we'll see.
Honestly, it may have been better just to wipe out the Cerberus Raiders, deny that central map control.
10s, I mean.
Do you need to do any morale on these guys who lost
Oh,
3?
right, my bad, my bad.
I'm just wondering, I don't actually know.
Yeah, I think I do, my bad.
He's praying for that morale to proc there.
Yeah, what's their morale?
Iron
Like
Striders,
6?
2.
2. Iron Striders 2? Okay.
I actually can't see the leadership on this unit.
Leadership 8. So
Leadership 8.
I lost 2 of them.
Oh, why is this not locked? What the hell?
I rolled a 2.
Cerberus leaders are
I rolled a 2, so we're fine.
leadership 7 if they have their alpha alive.
Cool. And the raiders.
I think I missed.
Leadership 6, yeah, because I took the alpha out of that one, so leadership 6 on that one.
Okay, so on a 4 up, 1 runs.
It's fine.
Nope. Cool.
And this one still has the alpha, I think. Oh no, I removed the alpha. Whatever. Okay.
Okay, so on
So
a
leadership 6 on that
6 1 runs. Yeah.
one. Oh
One
no!
runs.
Oh,
Jeez.
And then you have to roll what, like a? It's not on the half.
Oh, hey.
You have to roll a dice for each one on a run, I think.
we see a morale
For each one. So
being
there's 3
failed.
left.
Now this isn't a half strength unit, so that it's gonna be they run on a 1, and 1 other. Wow. Okay.
Wow.
I think that's how it works, right? People can correct me, but I'm fairly certain.
Alright. Rip.
That's actually great for Custodes.
It's made up for the
Yes.
appalling shooting face. Yep. Now
Take the free 16-point unit off the board. Always nice.
The Iron Spider's out.
The new morale for 9th edition is so chaotic. Literally an explosion.
I want to make sure I'm within range.
This morale was largely the Admec player's fault because he took away the alpha, and if he didn't took away
That's
the
true.
alpha, they would have passed the morale.
Here's
So slight misplay by Admec, taking out the alpha before the other raider. I don't think maybe he was paying attention there. But you know, you see too many mistakes like that, I don't know. You might see that the game becomes a little bit more closer than you think. Oh, small gaff. I want to hear. Wonder what happened with the objectives here. So. It looks like he was able to actually score 4 points and bring it down.
these guys are on the objective, so they'll get it next turn.
Oh yeah, 2 for each Iron Strider.
It could be that he was targeting those Iron Striders just to proc that.
I think he will pretty much max it out. Doesn't matter what he does. That's by the end of turn 5 because he has so many chances. He doesn't have to kill much to max that secondary out. I'm much more interested of how the Admec is going to achieve his secondaries.
Okay, so now we have some shuffling here from the Cataphrons.
The servitors. Right, 6 inches on the servitors.
What the fuck
What
was
just
that?
happened? Can someone rewind?
I have
Fast?
no idea.
Stream, rewind. I have no clue what just happened. That was really weird. Again. Yeah. What was that? No one knows, I guess.
Alright, well. Saved it.
Alright. That was really weird.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have no idea what just happened. Cool. Yeah.
As in I don't want to like hit any of your units. That will be the best way to move it.
You don't want to what? Sorry.
Knock over any of your.
Well, you won't.
And that was really interesting. I don't know exactly what happened there, but looks like something happened. Maybe a mistake. I don't.
Yeah, it is set up to our auto race, so you can just pull it over. It won't matter. Where do you want to put it? You can just measure. Let's see. Remember, no part of the model can be off the board.
All right.
Just
my bad.
friendly reminder. Yeah. I mean, you can fly off the board if you want to into reserves.
I'd rather not.
Yeah.
I'll set
So you
it
can
there.
see the shadow right here.
Ah, okay, my bad.
Yeah. It's a big model.
Yeah, it really is. I bet.
I got a question here for this model that we're looking at, and I don't know if anybody. I don't know if you actually would know this, Aladars, but maybe in chat could probably answer this. Are the wings on the model posable in any way? Anybody know that?
These guys are gonna advance. I've already moved them 6. So I'm gonna move them
Advancing?
1 more inch. Yeah, 1 more inch.
Oh, okay. Thank you so much for that clarification, McPherson. Buddy.
Let me check. Yeah, it's still 1 though. Still the 1 inch.
Alright, so it looks like Admec is moving the Archeo Stratocopter right here on the opposite end of the board. But then again, we kind of were expecting that, weren't we?
Yeah, pretty much. Seems like he's pushing forward on the sides and leaving the middle for the Custodes to take. I think it's a good idea.
Okay. What I'm interested in.
By the way, I just want to make sure.
No, I'm not. I was just thinking what I was gonna
Okay.
do.
What I'm interested in finding out is how he's gonna choose Cerberus Raiders. I think what he does is try his best to charge this.
Yeah, robot.
Yeah, pretty much. But on the other hand, that tank commander is gonna he's probably gonna pop the Overwatch stratagem to hit and the defensive gunner to hit on 5s,
Oh, really? That's pretty cool.
and he can probably kill those two.
Alright, yeah, they can have fists and stuff.
That's why I think that him losing that morale was such a big deal because,
Yeah.
well, I mean, I don't think he gets this these raiders that close. I mean, unless there's some kind of stratagem that I'm not aware of.
Slow moving model that can, well, you know, the 8 inches is okay, but it can't move through walls and stuff is a really big deal.
I'm not sure if they can advance and charge either. They're quite fast moving, so we gotta see. I think it's definitely a mistake to push the Castellans forward. There are way too key units for that. Because now, if he doesn't clear those Custodian squad, those robots are gonna die next turn. Charge.
Alright, I'm gonna use.
That's an interesting point that you're making. But are they really going to? Because I mean, there's so much juicy threat on this left-hand side. Do you think he actually devotes that many resources to that side of the board?
Okay. I'm just wondering because I don't know. I'll take your word for it.
Yeah, I know. I mean, once
I think you can pretty much just ignore the breachers for now and concentrate on the middle blob and try to kill that.
Okay. Cool. So you're going into protector.
Yep.
Cool.
And don't forget, the Custodians don't have invul saves in melee, so those Custodians are just going to chew through them.
And
Cool. All right. So on to your shooting phase.
yep, Daedalosus is gonna mark a unit and give +1.
Oh, one more quite interesting thing. He left the riders on the objective and didn't move them forward to charge attack commander.
Do you need to see them?
Hang on. Yep,
Because I don't think you see.
my
Oh,
bad.
you need to? Okay. Yeah, and then
Yeah,
then you
visible. Okay. So he'll mark the guardsman then over here
Cool.
instead.
Alright.
Alright. So the robots are gonna go first. They'll fire everything into the custodians.
Cool. So I'm gonna pop a bunch of stratagems here. First I'm gonna make. So you're AP2, right? I'm gonna make it AP0. And then I'm gonna pay 2 CP to turn off all rerolls.
Okay.
So no rerolls, and you are AP0.
Alright, but I still have the +1 to strength from the
Yep.
Mars Tactical.
And now we can see the Custodian defensive stratagems at work.
So yeah. So what's like a million?
Do you think that he now just kind of opened up a position where he just ignores the Custodes?
Mars as well as doing. Cool. So that's opposite to-
Don't
Think he baited him?
No, I don't think he's.
So
He can afford to ignore them now. He moved the robots forward.
That's true. He did move him up forward. I think if he played back a bit more, I think he could have actually played a little bit of a mind game there to try to get him to pop the stratagems without the Custodes actually being the true targets.
double the shot, so that's
Yeah, I totally agree.
18 times 4.
I don't know, man. I don't think this game is over.
18 dice, and then
I think it's turning in the Custodes' favor.
how do you do that?
you can press 10d6 and then 5. So that's what 15, 17.
Oh, and then just
18.
copy it over.
Yeah, and then you copy it 4 times. And you got it. Cool. 72 shots.
Yeah, that's still a lot of
Oh
shots,
my God! Here we go, guys.
Times 1.
but no rerolls.
Yeah.
No rerolls.
Nope.
Yep.
Wait, why is it -1? Oh, I have the Mars Tentacle that also makes it so I can move and fire heavy weapons. With the,
Yeah, but I have the Vexilla, so it's -1.
Oh, okay. Alright, so yeah, hitting on 5s then.
Oh my goodness, that is brutal. Wow.
0 AP then.
Yep.
So what's your toughness?
T5, so winning on 3s, I
Strength
think.
7, yeah, hit wounding on 3s.
They had no reroll really on start match.
Oh my God.
The -1 to hit.
Alright, so 1 mortal wound.
So 1 mortal wound,
Wow. What? Only one? Ouch.
so 2 up
Yep.
save. Alright, that was a pretty bad roll. 1 damage, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so this is exactly 4 damage with the mortal wound, so you kill 1.
Okay.
So you kill the spear guy.
Alright.
That's incredible. We just watch the absolute tankiness of these Alasaris wardens. Or I'm sorry, these Alaris custodians being displayed for us here. Unbelievable. 72 shots, turning off the rerolls and ignoring the AP. You're hitting on 5s, my friend, with the Vexilla. Good luck.
So they also can't reroll, and they're also ignore AP2.
It's everything that fires at that unit.
That unit is for this entire phase. Anything that fires at them.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right then.
Who do you think's gonna win now, chat? I will ask you.
Firing the.
Let's open up another poll. After battle round 2, I'm gonna ask you guys exactly who you think is favored to win this.
Force, right?
It's pretty much gonna depend on how many of the Alarius Custodian gonna survive.
All right, one wound.
1, 2 up save. Good.
All right, the missile launcher misses. The Gatling rocket launcher 2 hit.
Yeah, what are you hitting at? Your ballistic skill 4 or 5? Or 3, I mean.
Oh, it's 5.
No, so you're only -1 because you can't be higher.
My bad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's 3, so it just becomes 4. So you hit on, so you get 3 hits. Cool.
All right.
And what's the strength?
Strength is 7.
Cool.
I mean,
So,
yeah, 7.
threes?
Because of the Mars cannon.
Yeah.
All right, 2 wounds.
What's the AP?
AP -2.
-2. Okay, so no AP. 2 up. 1 goes through. Damage.
Did he give up the control on the objective in the
damage or
Admec deployment zone?
Oh, my bad. Yeah, it's 1.
Actually, not sure.
So down to 3.
Then the twin Idris autocannon.
Sorry, boys. I'm overly focused here on this.
This is what the
3 wounds. The twin Idris autocannon. So
Okay.
3 hit. I mean,
3 wounds or hits? No, hits.
3 hits. Strength 8. All right, 2 wounds.
2 wounds. Cool. AP 2. So no.
AP
Good.
-1.
Okay. Cool. So they're good.
All right. Let's move over to the breachers instead. Let's see
All right.
how many of these breachers can see the guard.
Guardsman.
1.
I'd say 4.
Okay.
Yeah. So this is 4, right?
Yeah.
It's this
alright.
guy who I'm not sure about.
I will remind you guys. Custodes actually still have a unit in deep strike. Those unit boards can't. These units actually strike. I think that's going to be playing a very important part, especially after exactly like what's left here.
I don't think so. So I think it's 4. You can shoot him.
So I think what Aladaris was trying to tell us earlier was like, definitely you're playing Admec, you don't want to shoot into the Custodes, but at the same time you're moving up to engage it. I kind of force yourself into this position where you have to all in on them. When all you have to do is sit back and place the objectives.
Pretty much, he shouldn't have moved forward towards the Custodes. He should have moved back.
This is going to be bloody next turn.
On 3s.
Yep. Cool. And then wounding on 2s, I believe. Strength 6, right?
Yeah, strength 6, 7 with the Mars cannon told.
Okay. Wounding on 2s.
I will remind everyone that Admec was heavily favored to win the game by the polls, by you guys.
Alright.
So that's 5 dead guardsmen right there.
And 4. Yeah.
We will see after how this turn goes. But yeah.
Right, so what's left? It's one Dune
Iron
Crawler.
Striders. Iron Strider is a Dune Crawler,
Yep.
and that's it. So the Iron Striders are going to fire at the Guardsmen again.
I think he should have baited out the stratagem, backed off, wait until the Custodes player runs out of CP, and
So Iron
basically
Striders
just
into
shoot
what?
everything into everything else and not the Custodians.
I agree. Like, I'm just kind of watching this, how this is playing out, and I just can't help but think to myself that you just back up, threaten the target prioritization on the Alaris, right? Bait out the stratagems, and then switch targets, and then play to the objectives game. I feel like that would have been a more safe move, but, you know.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Alright, sure. Yeah, move on. Sorry.
No, you're fine.
So 12 shots from those guys.
Yeah.
Cool.
Also, another huge mistake is, I think, moving the Iron Starter off the... Like I mentioned this already, but that's going to give the Custodes player another 5 on primary points.
Yeah, 2s. Cool. AP1, right?
AP
so 6
-1.
ups. Yeah, they're dead. Cool. Guardsman
Alright.
gone.
That's exactly what he do.
Fire
Right there.
back into
Yep.
the same Custodes.
Cool. Yeah. Go right ahead.
So that actually opens it up on this side. Now, if he wanted to, well, I think the breachers have already fired, right?
2 hit.
Yes, the breachers already fired at the infantry squad, clear them off, because the outlaws couldn't see the
Cool. 2
armies.
2 up.
That's why he didn't want to shoot the breachers at them, I think.
Good.
Alright. Missile launcher. 1 shot. Alright.
Hits.
Strength 7. Strength 8. Alright, it wounds. AP -3.
-3, so 4 up immo. Good.
Nice. 5 shots from the rocket. From the Gatling rocket launcher.
I think this is the flame fire? Not 100%.
It does not wound.
Okay, well,
Or from the Twin Edge's autocannon. 1 wound. I mean 1 hit. It does not wound. They're done.
Cool.
Alright,
And
let's go
then-
to
No, you have the Raptor, right? Stratoraptor.
Ah, yeah, completely forgot. Alright, it was on the other side of the map. Alright. We'll fire at the guardsmen.
Cool.
I think the Admec player expected robots to clear that Custodian squad. Maybe that's why he moved them forward.
okay, yeah.
Heavy stubbers first.
Sure.
Yeah, these Custodes were bound to die.
Hang on one
So,
second.
They're not very durable at all, so I'm not surprised with seeing them get shot off the board like that.
Okay, this one in.
But there's still more on the board, so banking on right here.
sure.
Flaming Guardsman.
Like, he needs to get rid of them right now. Like, he needs to get rid of them right now.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
6 AP0, right?
Yeah, 3
Strength
hit.
4. Yeah. So 4
strength
hits.
5.
Only on 3s.
3
So
wounds.
3.
0
5
AP.
ups. Failed 2, so 2 die. Let's pull these 2.
Alright. 2 heavy phosphor blasters. So 6 shots.
Cool.
Hitting on 3s.
Yep. And this one's strength 6,
7.
right?
Yeah, strength
7? Okay. So 2s.
Oh no.
2, and then also our AP 2, so just go through. So 2 die.
Alright.
Cool.
And
Yeah.
the last cannon. 2 shots.
Might be enough to proc that morale. It's gonna be enough though.
1 hit.
I think the
Oh,
morale
no.
changes in 9 actually hugely buffed, like infantry squads, like 10-man units of cheap infantry, because it's not gonna kill them all.
That was a nimble guardsman, man. He just jumped to the side. Just pulverized some rocks. Alright, cool. Yeah. Anything else?
Nope, that's gonna be it.
Cool. Alright. You score. Oh, did you raise any banners? No, right? Did you mean to? No. Okay. Yeah, I don't think you could because nothing's in range, right? Yeah.
Well, I guess I could
Okay.
have raised my own banner over here. Oh well.
But you can't actually because no one's in range that could do it.
Oh, my bad. Okay.
Alright, cool. Well, at the start of my turn, I hold 2 objectives, which I believe is the same as you, so we hold the same. So I get 10 points for holding 2 objectives. I believe. Cool. And I get 2 points for raise the banners, because I have 2 banners up. Cool. Alright. So, now we need to figure out what we want to do. So we have a bunch of options here. You can very reliably get a charge into all this stuff. The question is what we want to charge into. Kill the robots. Melstari. So the things you marked is call, onager, yeah.
Did he take morale for that squad of guardsmen?
Yeah. I think we can see
I don't know.
this over here.
Well, I am here for casting purposes, not for rules judging.
Yeah, so we'd like to get on that objective, that'd be nice.
So that is
Cool. So I think Trahan's gonna move 6 inches onto this thing. And he's gonna move like here, and he's gonna raise a banner on it. Bit cocky maybe, but we'll see. Why not try it? Cool, he's gonna go there and raise the banner. So he's not shooting, and his auras don't work. Alright.
What do you think? What should the Custodes player do this turn?
So many options, that's like the tough part.
I'm sorry, what was the question?
I asked this, what do you think the Custodes player should do?
Cool, this guy's gonna move.
Okay, so for Custodes, we're in turn 2, right?
Yeah.
Alright, so, let's take a look.
Well, there's no real reason to expose him, he can just hang back. Yeah, cool. I'd like to get you off this thing.
There's actually still a lot here on the board. Deep striking is going to be very important. Looking for some sneaky strikes might be very beneficial for a Custodes player here. Maybe, I don't know if that's quite... Oh crap, they saw my measurement. I can't.
This first, and then we'll see how far that gets me.
I definitely think to advance and just try to charge the main brunt of this force here. That's the best thing that you could possibly do.
Bishop, I believe I wanna say 7 with the sergeant, but I might be wrong. No, it is 7. Cool.
Of course, we're at the beginning of the phase, so
I lost 1 now. No.
Okay.
The leadership 9. Yeah, okay. So the guardsmen are they lost 4. So on a on a 4-1 runs, but I can re-roll it because they're within 12 of Gilliman. Okay, so that would mean 1 run, so I'm gonna re-roll that. 3, so that's a 7, so we're fine. Cool.
Alright.
Alright. Yeah. That's it. Cool, yeah, so back to what I was doing. So this guy's moved 6 inches now, and I could put these 6 inches here. And that's... Okay, there's no reason not to. So we're gonna advance the Praetor. Okay, well...
Okay, wow. Alright, yep.
Sounds really good.
So you can move 7 more if I wanted him to move him here. I guess I might as well.
I think maybe he deep strikes the Terminators right behind.
He's going to deep strike just outside of 3 inches of the robots and just charge them.
Yeah, that's exactly what he's about to do. Actually, I didn't know that stratagem existed. You can actually do that?
Just easily in range. So.
He has a stratagem for
I
that.
had like a 30.
What? Oh, that's just... That's
It has
just...
to be within like 6 inches of the... I'm not sure how close it has to be within the Praetor, but it has to be close.
Oh my goodness, this is gonna hurt, boys. Ouch.
Yeah, this is why he should have moved backwards.
Cool, so 8 inch.
Okay, so the Vex Praetor allows the Terminators to deep strike within 3 inches of enemy models. Is that with a stratagem? Just so that people in chat know exactly what's going on.
This guy doesn't really need to move anywhere.
And not at all, because I don't know.
It's fine. And then the question is if I want to move up the guardsman, but I don't think I need to. Cool, yep. I think that is it for movement phase. So at the end of the movement phase, I'm going to activate my once per game ability on Trahan to make my stratagem free, and I'm going to use Vexilla Teleport Homer. So, Teleport Homer is going to come in, the 6 Alaris.
So basically he just saved
So,
himself
do you
3
battle scribe
CP.
on these guys? Like TTS to battle scribe?
No.
Okay. Not surprising, this. Most people don't. I'm just a nerd, so I have it. Spend way too much time. Stuff. Yeah, so the idea is I'm outside of 3.
Do you think the Admec player knew that the Custodes list was capable of this?
Which means it's an unfailable charge. Cause
I'm not sure.
pretty nice. Is that really everyone? Yeah, it is. Okay, 3, 6, yeah. So I don't need to charge them, and I don't want to block him.
It's like you're, like, oh yeah, no. Yeah, I got plenty of screen. Oh wait, oh no, you don't have enough screen.
I'd like to shoot some of that.
There's one whole squad of Alaris custodians right in face.
I don't want those guys to live. You don't hold this. So you actually
So as Custodes, I definitely shoot
kill them. You
off the objective these raiders.
get 10 points each.
On this side of the board, just buckle down, try to hold down as much as you can on the objectives. I am not at 100% familiar with the...
6's last turn with the... You did, didn't you?
Oh yeah, I did. Oh well.
That's rough. I'm sorry, man.
No,
Yeah, I just realized.
I'm new to the game, so I'm still figuring stuff out.
Yeah. I would have reminded you if I remembered. I'm sorry.
No, you're fine.
Yeah. Cool. Yeah, so basically we're gonna shoot all the bolters into them, and yeah, it's fine. Cool. It's no reason to else. Cool. Yeah, so you're just gonna come down there. Anything you want to do in response to that?
You're charging?
No, I'm just wondering. I'm coming down on deep strike.
Oh no, I don't.
Do you have any aspect
Cool.
scan? That's
Yeah.
basically what he's asking.
Oh, this guy's supposed to leave space, right?
I don't believe Admec does.
I'm not sure either.
So on to shooting phase. So the oh yeah, at the start of a shooting phase, tank commander's gonna order themselves to reroll once, both of them. And then we're gonna fire first this guy. Actually, this guy can only see him, so he's gonna shoot first. He's gonna fire everything into the Stratoraptor. First off, we do the Demolisher Cannon.
Right.
So 2d6 shots. Ooh,
Oh, okay. All right. We got some firepower coming out. Okay. 11 shots.
Hitting on 4s, because you're -1, right?
-1.
And rerolling once.
Wow. Oh.
Ah,
Oh my goodness.
but I
Cool.
didn't roll.
And then,
Oh my goodness.
My bad. You know what? It's
Huh?
a new round. I didn't roll handed tools.
oh yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, my bad.
Ah, no problem.
I always forget that.
Yeah, it's an easy thing to forget. Well, you roll the same there, so it doesn't matter. Okay,
Yeah,
so I assume Shroud saw him, and
Yeah.
you know.
The same exact thing. Same exact
Yeah.
thing that it was.
Yeah, that's the thing
Right.
with call. You always get it, basically.
Yeah.
Cool. All right. And then these are wound rolls. They wound on 3, strength 10.
Oh, okay. That.
Yeah, your T 6, right, or 7, maybe even.
Yeah.
Oh, it was looking to be so good, but let's see what happens here. It might be enough. And
Yeah, -3, so 6 ups, right?
Yeah. So one.
So 2 wounds, so 2d6 damage.
We can still roll the double 6.
So that's 7 damage on this guy.
I don't know how many wounds it has.
And then
Done.
the last cannon, hitting on a 4, hits, wounds on a 3, doesn't wound. So he would be down to 3 wounds.
Oh man, he was in such a good spot to just one-shot that thing. Wow, man. Sometimes the dice are just so.
Try and reroll
roll.
the last cannon shot. Okay,
Yeah,
it wounds.
sounds
So one 6-up save.
good. Right.
Cool. Yeah. So d6 damage. Alright, 4 damage. So he
Alright
dies.
then.
Yeah, it doesn't explode. He was actually able to take it out though.
I think he actually forgot the -1 damage on it, so it should be alive on 2.
I just wanna, I know he does, but I don't know. You know, he does it on a 6. Just roll a dice and see if he rolls 6.
Well, I don't think our players know that.
Alright then.
Ooh, he does. Alright,
Okay.
so d4
Whoa. Okay.
wounds to this guy.
Alright, that's one
One.
mortal wound.
So he's down to 11. And to the guardsman. 2.
Alright, 2.
So he killed 2 guardsmen. Nice.
Wow. Okay. So exploded.
Cool. Alright. So that's that. And we're gonna move on to next tank commander. He is going to shoot at. He doesn't actually have a good target. I guess he'll shoot at yeah, he can take those out, I guess. Yeah.
Good choice
There's nothing else I
if
really
he's shooting at
guess I could shoot
raiders,
at,
because that's gonna free up the objective, making the other player earn less primary points.
yeah.
Ooh.
Shoot at the cataphrons.
Hey.
Shooting at the
Okay.
cataphrons instead.
Yeah, I'm gonna shoot at these cataphrons with him. He's gonna fire everything. Yeah. Because I wanna keep this objective. No, it's better to shoot you off, so I'm gonna shoot this. So, 2d6 shots.
Okay.
So, okay, it's perfect
Yeah, that's perfectly average, I think. There.
average. Hitting
Good enough.
on 3s, rolling once. And winning on 2s. So that's 5,
2
6
to wound,
saves.
so demolition cannons are scary.
Okay, he's gonna have to roll here really well. Does.
4.
right. 4d6 damage. So first, ooh, 1 lives. Okay, so that's 1 dead. And then 2d6 to the other one. Okay, he's dead. Cool.
Okay, still able to take him out. And I think that's exactly what Custodes needs to do.
Right, onto the Alaris. So don't
Stop Admec from scoring, right? And contest the midfield.
Cool. The Alaris are gonna shoot all their shots into the Cerberus Raiders right there next to them. And I'm not gonna spend the CP on them. So 6 times 2 shots. So 12 bolter shots, hitting on 2s, rolling 1s. 3s, because you're behind the dense cover.
Alright.
And then wounding you on 3s.
Okay, lots of wounds.
This many saves at AP 1.
Okay.
Yep. Cool. 2 damage each, so that's 2 dead.
That's exactly the squad.
Alright.
Cool. Alright. And then the grenade launchers are wasted. Cool. And then these Alaris are gonna shoot all their shots into the cataphrons over there. So I don't think they're in rapid fire range, so 4 shots. All hit. Wounding on 3s. Oh no, 5s. So 2 wounds, AP1.
Okay, I think that's actually 4 damage, if I'm not mistaken. Gonna definitely be 1 at the very least.
Cool.
AP1,
So
right?
Yeah.
So, yeah, they both
both
don't
go
make-
through. So 2 damage, so you kills 1.
Alright.
2 damage each, right?
I mean, you're chipping away.
Actually, he would have saved on up 3
Scary stuff.
Shroud Spawn.
And their grenade launcher are range. Cool.
Oh, Shroud Swamp, you're right.
But yeah, we are sadly not here to judge the game, but
3 shots.
Can you remind us what Shroud Swamp does?
All hit.
it gives you light cover basically, +1 to your armor save, to all of your units.
2 wounds.
Alright, what's the AP? Alright, they both saved.
Ooh, nice. Cool. Alright. That should be it for shooting. So, charge phase.
Now comes the scary part.
With this charge. Alaris are going to charge your Iron Strider Ballistari.
Okay.
No watch? Okay.
I bet he wants him to Overwatch there, doesn't he?
That's a 4. So I mean, even with Gilliman, that's not enough. Do you want to reroll that? Because this one auto makes it. This one though doesn't. Yeah, let's try and reroll that.
Oh, okay, he actually failed that first charge. He's gonna do a command reroll. Rerolling the charge. Could be bad if he fails it.
Right. Oh, it
No, he got it. Okay, he got it.
says a 10 with +1 for Gilliman. So because I'm touching the crater, I can move a maximum of 8.
Okay.
Well, and that's exactly where. Right next to that objective. I think he actually holds it now.
Valdor. Yeah, so he needs a 6 to get in, because it's a 7 and he has +1. He's gonna charge the Ballistari.
Alright.
So that's a 5, which is not enough. He fails.
Fails the charge. He used a command reroll. You can't use it more than once.
That
I
really annoys me. Alright.
don't think that's a big
The
issue.
Alris are going to charge
Yeah.
Ballistari and your Castellan robots.
Alright, the
Uh,
robots are gonna overwatch then.
Actually, just the robots, yeah. Just the robots.
Alright, they'll overwatch.
Cool. I'll pay 1 CP to ignore AP2. And your rerolls only work in the shooting phase, so you can't reroll.
Yeah. Do I still get exploding 6s or no?
I don't know. Actually.
Let me check.
Just a reminder, I polled you guys on who you thought that this match would be favoring based on game up until round 2, and Actually, it was a bit more contested this time. A lot of you guys have been shifting over to Custodes. I'll pull you guys again on the third round. Remember, it was heavily favored for Admec.
I think at this point
So explain success.
we will see at the end of the round that these two units are basically dead.
Alright, so 72 shots again.
Actually, they might be able to do stuff in Overwatch because I don't think he popped the stratagem for the no AP. Did he?
I think he used a stratagem that ignores the AP.
No. Yeah, then the robots are not gonna do
Six
too
extra-
much.
Extra hits.
So that's 11 more.
Oh, hey, wait a minute. I think he actually factored in the.
Oh yeah.
Oh, you only picked up half.
Oh, did I?
Just reroll that. Or
Right.
did that bug for me? I don't know.
Happened.
I didn't see what happened. There's like a million dice here that didn't do anything. Just roll 11 again, I think. Or did it
Yeah.
just bug for me, maybe? There you go, yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah. So just roll that again. Oh no, wait, no. It's 22. What am I talking about? There was not 11. There was 22 dice. So that's the first, and then okay. So far you're winning on what, 3s, I think. So these are wins,
I thought
and then
since
you
it was
roll.
Overwatch, I only hit on 6s.
Yeah, but you had the exploding hits.
wins.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And then you have 11 more. Sorry, it's a guess.
Alright.
I got. That's what, 12. It's almost. There you go. And then 3 more. You're in roll 3 of these. Roll those 3 ones and 2s. Cool.
Alright.
So this is the wounds. 2 up save. 3 go through. So that kills the 1 wound guy, I think.
I think this is really a result of floppy rolling here. I think even there they just forgot about some. When we put this on YouTube, I wonder if anybody's going to point these out for us to look at.
Nice.
Maybe. I think it's the small mistakes on the Admec's part are just piled up, basically.
So, yeah, so charge, get a roll it.
Yeah, I saw like at least 3 wounds just like get pulled aside and then just like really floppy. But really it's up to the players to catch on to this this kind of stuff. And
So this is what? So I can only move 3
Yeah.
if I move into that because it's dense terrain. So I actually
Right.
can't move very far. It's a bit of an unfortunate. Happens though. Cool, and I can't be within 1 inch of them because I need to clear them. And this guy failed. Cool. Yeah, that's it for charges. So, fight phase.
brutal.
I'm gonna begin with these Alaris Custodians. I guess I can begin with these because you can't actually interrupt anyway. They're gonna pile in.
That 3-inch movement to get on that objective. Doubt he holds it now. But also gaining in combat.
So 4 guys are gonna swing into the Ballistari.
Very interesting. Still keeping them in range for the Gilliman aura.
Actually, I'm gonna pay 1 for -1 AP.
Yeah, he's for the rerolling ones. He's making sure they die.
Kill these. So 4 guys. Cool. Hitting on 2s, rolling 1s.
Alright.
Yeah.
And then wounding on strength 8, so 3s, right?
A lot of.
Cool.
That's an average roll right there, but I think it's enough.
3.
Alright. So they have a 6-up invuln then.
Oof.
Oof.
Ow, jeez.
Alright.
So that's 3 damage, 6 damage, that's 1 dead.
Alright.
That's 5, so 6 damage. So that's 1 more dead. And then 2d6 for the last one.
That's another one. He just wiped them out.
Cool. And I think the closest would be these guys. Cool.
And just that pile in, just to, or that consolidate, just to.
I think these guys can fight, right? When they're in Protector.
No, I don't think they can either. So.
Yeah. Cool. Yeah. So Alaris are gonna go next.
Custodians putting enough work to wipe out those Iron Striders. I mean, they're not the most durable, but
6 Alaris.
don't let Custodes roll up on you like that. I would.
Yeah,
Don't
still
have +1
like
wounding
toughness
against these guys,
6,
just to wound them on 2, so
6
yeah,
wounds.
I'll pay 2 CP to get +1 a wound, because you have more
Alright.
toughness than me. So they're wounding you on 2s now. So it's 3, 4, 5, 6.
Oh boy,
Oh, this is brutal.
this is gonna be a.
Hitting on 2, throwing 1s. And then wounding on 2s.
Yeah.
So 17 wounds, AP 2.
Ouch.
Alright. And that's a 5-up save.
5-up saves you gotta make, but I don't know, buddy. How it goes.
Cool. It's about almost exactly. Oh! Well, we can check the last 5 rolls. So 2, 4, 6 plus 5 is 11. So 11.
My bad, sorry about that.
No problem. Happens. So 11 attacks. Or 11. Oh, damage,
11
right? Sorry, I should have done
wounds,
these. Yeah. I should have done this one at a time. So I'll do that differently. So 2d3. This is the first 2, so that's 5 damage. They have 6 wounds, right?
Yeah, 6 wounds each.
So that's 1 dead.
This should
so
kill them, I think.
That's 1 more dead. 6 damage. So 2 dead so far.
Right.
Oof.
3
Yeah.
dead.
Oh my goodness. Oh my. My word.
Good rolls.
Yeah.
That's 3 damage. That's 6. Okay, so a third dead. Okay.
Just wipe them out.
Exactly.
That was 4, right?
Absolutely, exactly right on the nose. Pinpoint accuracy. Wiped out that squad.
Cool.
Yikes.
All right. And I believe that is it for my turn.
That was basically 24 damage done.
I think I max out, bring it down or something. I get like what? I get 2
I mean,
times 5
all
plus
vehicles,
2
so-
times 4.
Oh yeah, you should have rolled for explosions.
Yeah,
all of
where's
them.
those wait, it's only one explosion or all?
4.
Ooh, okay.
And I get 3 victory points because I have a unit in every table quarter. This guy here, this guy's here, and these guys here, this guy's here. So 3 points for engaged on fronts, and I have 3 banners up right now. Cool. Yeah, that's my turn.
Okay.
Yep. So at the start of your turn, you
Need
gain
morale from you.
from me.
Yeah, I thought I killed like 1.
Oh yeah, you killed 2 guardsmen. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
With the explosion. Yeah. That's a 5, so it becomes a 7, which is exactly what they have.
Alright.
So they're fine.
Did I kill like 1 Custodes, or am I remembering wrong?
Yeah, you killed.
In, Overwatch?
Yeah, this was a not an Overwatch. In Overwatch, you did 3 damage and got 1 down to
okay.
1.
Alright.
So yeah, that's my turn. So at the start of your turn, you hold 1 objective. This one, so you get 5 points.
Honestly, I definitely think that that Squids has played Admec pretty much all their rules. That's pretty difficult. He said he was inexperienced. He new to the game? I wonder.
So raising a banner is an action, and then you just can't do anything for the rest of the time, right?
Yeah,
do you
basically.
get the points immediately?
And only
or do you-
infantry can do it, I think.
okay,
Let me check. One or more infantry units, yeah. So basically, the tech priest could do it, for example, but then I think his auras don't work. But you could do it with
really?
the cataphrons could do it, for example. You can move here and, or yeah, I guess they can't advance and do it. So yeah, I don't actually think they can get in range. These guys could do it though. Here, race.
Alright, well, the breachers are over here gonna advance. So 6 inches plus 6.
Well, I think that that was a phenomenal turn for Custodes. How do you feel now about the game?
Alright, my bad. They moved D3.
I guess how do you what do you think that Admec does to get back into the game?
Grand advance. And... These breachers are just gonna move.
Cool.
So is raising the banner instant, or do I have to get back to my next turn to get the points?
There, yeah. So if you raise the banner, you get the point on the next, at the start of your next turn.
Yeah, those guys are just gonna get shot.
Yeah, that's the tough part, right? Gotta stay alive.
Right, so he's creeping up these destroyers. I'm sorry, these. Why am I thinking that they're destroyers? This is very interesting because Aladaris, at the beginning, he did actually say that one of the win conditions for Admec in this game would have been just ignoring the Terminators and just try to clear off everything as much as he could, other than the Custodes. But as we're seeing here, Custodes are a very large threat, and it's something that I was kind of talking about was like this deployment zone favoring Custodes.
Alright, I think that's where I'm gonna end my movement for now.
Yeah, it's pretty much. And also going first, like this way he only had to endure 1 turn of shooting, not 2.
So on to shooting, right?
Yeah, shooting.
Cool. So what's first?
First I'll fire... let's fire the one Doom Crawler into these Custodes that are in front of them.
Cool. Alright, so I will use my last CP to make them ignore AP 1 and 2.
Here he is, using that stratagem again. So brutal, dude.
But I don't have the CP.
But he's doing what he needs to. Keeping them relevant, he's keeping them tanky. Third Custodes that will not come off the board.
I'm gonna use Wrath of Mars on a Dune Crawler as well.
Cool. Makes sense.
Exactly right.
Still -1 to be hit. Because of the
Yeah.
banner. It doesn't matter what Dune Crawlers, I guess, because they already are with the Icarus array. So you're hitting on force.
I think what he could have done is try to keep a wall of creatures around the robots, trying to protect them from melee.
But there's so much. That needs so much clearance. I mean, where would he have done that on this board? Without, those robots.
It didn't go through.
Sorry, without taking line of sight away from those robots.
So you get, what was it? Like,
Strength 4.
strength
Strength
4?
5 with the tentacle.
Strength 5? Okay, so you get no wounds, because it wounds on a 4 up.
Yeah. Alright.
So next. Go.
Missile launcher. Alright, rerolling with call.
Okay.
Alright, it hits. Strength 7, AP -3.
-3, so 4 up in mult.
Alright.
So that wounds, right? So
Yep.
4 up in mult. Make it.
Alright.
Chat brings up an interesting point. This list really could have used Caladios Assassin. Like, an extra CP cost on the already like start for CP Custodes are pretty huge, would be pretty huge.
Hitting on 4s, rerolling the 3. Alright, they all hit.
Cool.
Strength 6.
T5, so 3s. 3 wounds.
Alright.
AP
And
-2,
that's
right?
Yeah, and Wrath of Mars, right? So
Oh,
that's
yeah,
one
yeah.
mortal wound as well.
So one mortal wound, and then 2 ups. So I fail. So I take 1 mortal wound. So you kill the 1 wound guy.
Alright. And the auto cannon.
Still firing at these Terminators.
Alright, they all hit. Strength 7.
Yep. So 3s.
He should pretty much switch to the other spot because they are fully buffed with stratagems.
And 3 saves, 2 ups. So I fail 1. So you two. So I take. Is 1 damage, or what's the damage on that weapon?
2.
2. Okay. So you
damage
do.
per wound.
Okay. So you did 3 damage to me total there. So I'm down to 1 on 1 more guy.
Alright.
Cool.
The other Dune Crawler's in a fire now. Same unit.
Cool. Yep. Makes sense.
Rerolling. Alright, that's an extra hit. So 3 hits.
Yep.
1 mortal wound.
Cool.
It was
And-
strength 4, so I don't think the other 2 don't go through then.
So you got 1 wound and 1 mortal wound.
Yeah.
Save. I save it, but the 1 mortal wound. This guy took 3, so he's dead.
Alright.
So you killed 2 so far.
Missile launcher.
Definitely doing his best here to take out the Terminators. But I mean, this is
The Italian rocket launcher.
very much a reaction play.
Yeah, I think what he should have done is try to bait the stratagems on the other spot and then shoot focus head on the this spot.
6.
Strength 6, so all wound. 2 up save. Good.
Because
So
against
you
a
did 2
2
more
up
wounds.
save, you are not gonna do too much.
It's down to 2.
I think it's really difficult. You know, it's really difficult because what else would he? What else was he gonna? The tank commander, maybe? Does he have the line of sight and the range?
3 hit, and I got an extra hit.
I think, yeah, you should have like baited out the stratagems
Ooh, nice. 2 more mortal wounds.
and then shoot everything else into tank commander's first turn.
6, right?
7.
7. Okay. 3.
Yeah.
So yeah, and then
Dangerous.
2 up saves. I fail 1. 2 damage, right?
Yep.
So you kill the guy with mortal wounds, and then you do 2 damage to another one.
Alright, Call's gonna fire next into them.
Cool.
The fact he is dealing with them. I mean, even with the stratagem, he's managing to take him out.
Actually, you didn't have Wrath of Mars on that one. It's the other one that had Wrath of Mars.
Ah, shit,
Uh,
I'm sorry.
Yeah,
My
yeah,
bad.
yeah, it's fine.
My
I'll
bad,
just
my bad.
Good catch.
Actually, this guy's
Yeah.
dead, but this guy's is full HP.
Yeah,
Hang on.
alright, sorry about that.
No problem. It's my bad. I also missed it.
Okay.
And still
Fire
killed 3 of them.
Solar Atomizer, Assault D3 shots.
Yep. Cool. That's an awesome name.
Yeah, I know.
Solar
Right.
Solar Atomizer.
Yeah, I did strength 10.
Yeah. Alright, winning on 2s.
Alright, they all wound. And
Yep.
they all hit.
What's the-
So, strength 10.
What's the AP?
AP minus 4. I need to roll
Oof.
for wounds, though.
Oh, yeah. So winning on 2s.
This could hurt.
Cool. Alright, and now it's AP 4, right? So 4 up MMO?
Yeah. AP minus 4.
Yeah. So 1 goes through. What's
Alright,
the
and
damage?
that is, D3 damage.
So
if
yeah,
the
roll the
target
D3.
is within half range, it's a D6.
Oh yeah,
so-
so D6 damage.
6. Who's the other one?
Got one. Alright. Smoke this guy.
Alright.
Yeah. His son's got atomized.
Rip. Alright, now the engine series gonna shoot his last pistol.
What was it? Where was the shooting at first turn?
By rerolling.
I think he just rolled really poorly.
Uh,
It's just kind of wild to me that he's killing more,
general.
even though his robots are gone.
Raising a banner, they're shooting instead.
Oh yeah, these guys will raise a banner. But can anyone else see him? No, the other breachers are behind this wall.
I think both players are being good sports.
Yeah,
Both players showcase very strong and high level of sportsmanship.
raising the banner.
Okay, shooting. Yeah. So 3 guys is 3 times 2 shots, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I think 3 can see for sure. If you want, you can make them plus 1 to hit with Daedalus as well, so they hit on 2s. Oh, 3s.
Oh, you can see him from there?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, you can. Okay. Yeah, he'll do that.
Cool. Yeah. So 6 shots hitting on 3s.
Yep. Alright, 5 hit.
Yeah, nice.
Strength 6.
Yeah, winning on 3s.
Damn. Okay.
Oof.
1.
1 wound, 3 up. Ooh.
Not a 3 up.
D3
1 damage, 2 damage. Is it?
Yep.
Oh. Okay, so 2 damage.
2 wounds. Yep, 2 damage.
So he's down to 5.
Captain General has been wounded.
Cool.
And can these breachers see those Custodes? These ones over here.
Okay, sure. Yeah. So 6 shots. Hitting on 5s, I believe, because they're -1.
Alright.
I think I'm still -1. Oh, actually, I'm not, so 4s. Yeah, I pulled
Okay.
out of it.
Slight misplay. Or it will. Well, a bit of a decision on pulling those units when they will not be benefit of the -1 to.
Alright, 3 wounds. AP
Yep.
-2.
Yeah, it would have stopped.
So
Two
2
shots.
up because they still have the thing. So take 1.
It's a
It's D3
D3
damage.
1 damage.
One damage. Okay. So 1's down to 3. Cool. All right. Any more shooting?
No, that's it. Everybody shot. So
Cool.
Call is going to charge those Custodes.
All right. Go right ahead.
Yeah, I think the Admec player is actually doing a good job here to try to mitigate some of the damage that's inflicted here. I think he's playing this as well as he could at this current point in the game. I couldn't complain really with his target selection so far.
Yeah, he makes it.
Yeah, it seems like he really wants to clear up
And the
Custodes squad.
Game is not over, boys.
Ooh,
Oh,
12 attacks on Crawl. Wait, no, sorry.
that was the charge.
Call's gonna attack first.
All right.
I think we get excited on any charge that level 6 is, so that's very fun.
Alright, he's gonna use his Metandrite Hive. That is 4 attacks plus 2d6. Attack. I mean, not 4d6. Not 4d6. 4 attacks plus 2d6. So,
Oh, nice. So 5 and then 4
Oh, that's a lot of hits or a lot of attacks.
plus 4, right?
yeah. Alright. And 2s.
A lot of hits.
Alright, 11 hit. Strength 5.
Okay, this was kind of a mistake
And then
because he's
AP
using the attacks on the lower profile.
0.
0. Okay, 2 up. Take 1.
Alright, that's
One
just
damage?
1 damage. Yeah, 1 damage.
Okay. Alright. And then the Tech Priest.
Alright, he has 2 attacks.
Sure.
They both miss. Alright.
Okay, time for the Terminator swing back.
Here, I'm gonna do both of them into the Tech Priest engines here.
Interesting choice of targets.
So 8 attacks. 2 strong ones because of Constantine. And winning on 2s, I assume. So 5 wounds. AP 2.
Is he getting the tech priest so he can make room for Killiman? Or is he getting the tech priest because he's sure he can kill that?
We're up. 3 wounds.
Cool. 3d3 damage. Okay, it takes 5 damage.
That's actually enough to kill him. That's the Tech Priest.
No, he has 4 wounds, right? He takes 5 damage. No, not Call, it's the other guy.
Oh, okay, he's dead.
Yeah, he's dead. Cool. Alright, is that your turn?
Yep.
Cool. Alright, so you get Yeah, so on to start of my turn, I get 3 points for raise the banner. Sum up to 5. Cool. Alright. And at the start of my turn, I hold 1, 2, 3 objectives, and this one we share because we both have OBSEC. So I hold 3, and you hold 1. So I get more. So I hold more. So I get 15.
All right.
Cool. Alright, on to movement. So what's going on? Where? I guess I'll send.
Yikes, that's another 15 points scored for a Custodes this battle round.
Zilla's gonna move.
Yeah,
Getting into
Sure. Just gonna move here.
battle round 4 here. Or is it 3?
it is 3. Yeah, the caster player is not just killing the Admec, he's also piling up points. Quite a lot. Like he marks out already 1 secondary, and he's on good way of raising the banners.
What do I want to shoot him at? Guess I can shoot those as well. And this guy can shoot at them. Cool. This guy's gonna move 6 inches just outside of 1 inch of them. These guys. Just don't want to move on.
Yeah, I think that Faith is actually just
Cool.
doubling down on the objectives.
Just charge that.
Doesn't need a board, and he doesn't need to wipe out Admec at this point. Just score 15 points.
Yeah, in 9th edition you don't really need to kill anything at all to win. You just have to play for objectives and for secondaries.
Very interesting because, you know, these Custodes right here, wow, I can't believe.
Yeah, I can fit there. Cool.
I mean, I've heard, you know, from other people talking about them, but seeing it in action.
Shooting phase. So, this tank commander is gonna shoot everything into the catapult
Yeah,
over
it
there.
can't really kill them until they have used up all their CP. But now they have used up all their CP, so next turn could be brutal, but is it enough for the Admec player to come back?
I wonder.
Oh, they're gonna order themselves to reroll once. So 3 strong ones. And I'm wounding on 2s. So 7 wounds at AP3 on the breachers.
Okay. So
6 up, I think.
yeah, 6 up invuln.
Cool.
Nope. Okay.
That's 1 at a time. It's 1 dead. 2 dead. 3 dead. They have 3 wounds each, right?
Yeah.
4 dead.
There was
Yes,
also
sir.
Yeah, ouch. Okay.
Yeah, alright.
Well,
And the
that is the tank commander at work there.
next tank commander is gonna shoot into. So this is 2 different. Which squad is which here?
Also, it's a huge advantage. Yeah, I can. So it's a huge advantage being able to target tank commander, basically range other important units.
yeah, one of them died.
I guess. Oh. Alright, yep. So tank commander is gonna shoot at that squad, the front one.
All right.
So 2d6 shots.
A reminder, you'll be able to actually watch the whole stream again. Uploading this.
Winning on 2s.
You guys haven't already.
So 6 wins.
We have a YouTube where we upload.
6 up save.
One save.
Cool. Yeah. And then 1 at a time. So that doesn't kill 1. That kills him. 1 dead. 2 dead. And 3 dead. Cool.
Alright.
And the last cannon is wasted.
D6 damage. So brutal.
One's right there. It's 2 shots. Both hit. Both wound. AP1. So 2 5-up saves.
Did he roll for his tentacles?
I don't believe you declared that.
Both fail.
Both fail. Okay.
Crowd's Hong would have been really good.
So that's 1 dead. And these Alars can't see anything else, so they're not gonna shoot. Valdor, can Valdor see that one over there? I'd say so. So he's gonna shoot at it. 3 shots. He's within 24, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
3 shots. Rolling ones. 2 hits. Winning on 4s. 3s. 2 wounds. AP1.
Alright.
2 damage. So
Yeah, one save.
you're down to 1. Yeah. Down to 1. Nah. Cool. I think that's it for shooting. So charges. The Vexilla is going to charge both Onager Doomcrawlers.
Interesting. Poll results say that
Are you going to?
Scott thinks that this is a 50-50. 50% think that Custodes will win. 50% think Admec going.
Yeah, just one. I feel.
I think at this point it's pretty much decided. That's
Actually, I'm only gonna.
Don't say that. Don't say that. You have to give the hopes.
Secondaries.
Alright, Stubber. They missed.
You know, I think that a lot of people got surprised as well with the amount of tankability these Custodian Terminators are.
Rocket launcher. 1 hit.
I didn't even know they had a they didn't have a stratagem to negate rerolls.
He's dead.
Oh yeah. Okay. Alright, sorry.
I think that's hurt Admec the most, not being able to reroll anything against them.
And the twin ender is. Alright.
Cool.
It's just stacking stuff on each other, -1 to hit, ignoring AP1 and 2, and no rerolls is just a bit of an overkill on tankiness.
Valdor is gonna charge.
Is that the tankiest a unit can get in Warhammer 40K? Because I can't think of anything that damn tanky. Is that even better than a 3-up invuln?
Over here, gonna charge your Daedalus.
Oh, definitely. It's gotta be.
Alright.
I think just because of the no rerolls, they are already the tankiest stuff.
Actually, does 6 make it? It does, yeah.
Yeah, it makes it.
It's not super important, but
Regardless, it's been definitely a back and forth game. Very enjoyable to watch.
me up against the wall.
Maybe Shining Spears could be as tanky as this, with a 2-up invuln, but actually they are not as tanky.
Valdor, he's gonna swing into call.
Yeah, just ignoring AP, ignoring AP.
7 attacks.
-1 to hit. Negate rerolls. And then let's not forget about the. These things are getting +1 wound.
Winning on.
I hope not.
What's your toughness? 6?
I hope not.
Or yeah, T6. So 2s. So all wound.
I think we have a stratagem for that.
Yeah, AP4. So invul. Or AP3. Yeah, invul.
Yeah, invuln.
Oh, I wonder. Oh yeah, transhuman. Transhuman
Hey.
physiology.
He could have used that as well, yeah.
consolidate. Actually, it can't fit through there.
What's transhuman physiology do?
And then, do you want to interrupt?
Interrupt with what?
I don't know.
To be honest, they are a bit weak to mortal wounds.
Okay.
So it just goes through that ridiculous saves.
Yeah, but what kind of mortal wounds? Are we talking about mortal wounds in the psychic phase? Because they have an answer for that too.
It's only a 6 up to no pain.
One hit.
But I'm talking about mortal wounds in general.
Right. Like exploding hits and things of that nature.
Cool.
Yeah.
I gotta say then, Joko, are Alaris Custodes
Swing back, 12 attacks.
the new Castellans? Like, are these the new Castellans? Like, is this gonna be the must-take soup component?
Don't think so, because you can deal with them with AB3, like a bit. You can deal with them with AB3, 4, and you can deal with them
So
with
8 wins.
the wound.
AP2.
Right.
It seems
They are
wrong.
definitely like one of the strongest things,
5 up.
but you can deal with them.
Alright, so that's. Yeah, that's 9 damage or something.
What do you think this is the most optimal? Do you think that this is the most optimal that we can
And he's gonna
Codes bring in a configuration?
consolidate into him. And he's gonna move.
I'm not sure. I'm not a for this player.
And we're still in coherency. Well, this guy's gonna move here and we're in coherency. Incoherency and still on the objective. Cool. Yeah. And then Vexilla is gonna.
I mean, even if you play the mono faction, I mean,
The marked one.
Stodes still have a damn good basic troop choice.
They're a bit
Twos
expensive.
and 5s.
Well, if we're talking about winning games with objective points, I mean, just bring the shield brothers with sentinel shields, and just play a little bit on that.
Good. Cool. Yeah. Alright, that is my turn. So at the end of my turn, I get 3 points for engage on all fronts, and yeah, that's my turn.
Alright.
Do you wish to continue?
Nah, you got it. You
Alright,
won.
cool. Yeah.
You won. Hey, thanks for being patient with me. I mean, I just started playing in March.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
I'm still learning a lot of things.
Yeah, I understand, man. It's a lot to learn, man. And yeah, no worries at all. I don't mind being,
Alright.
just trying to help out.
games. Yeah, good
Yeah.
game.
That was a good game. Yeah.
Man,
Let's try and-
are tough though.
Yeah, they're tanky as hell. Alright, post game, sure. So let's unmute all the dudes in the Discord and the stream channel, see what they have to say. Unmute. Hey guys.
Hey, guys.
What are you guys? Let's. I'm gonna turn off my Discord, or my out of in-game sound and just talk in Discord instead. So cool.
Yeah, that was a damn good game. I had a lot of fun watching that.
Yeah, I'm glad you had fun. Yeah, me too. It was fun.
Yeah, it was really fun.
Yeah. Alright, I'm curious. Do you guys have any questions? Anything you want to add?
Oh, how did?
Yeah, they are so damn tanky.
Yeah, Custodes, man.
It's
It's
crazy.
funny. Everyone always gets so confused when you do that. So you saw how I just moved my Terminators in the middle of the board. It's like a
Yeah.
massive bullet magnet. Like everyone wants to shoot them, right?
So you did put them in there as a mind game.
Yeah, it's a mind game.
And
yeah,
it
it's
worked
intentional.
100%. Jesus.
Yeah,
I was like, okay, so these guys are going down next turn, I guess, and I shoot, and then he pulls out like 6 stratagems.
Yeah.
Just
It's crazy.
completely countered me.
Everyone does that though, so that's absolutely like it's every game, almost every game. Like I played games against the people who finished top 5 in alpha, top 3 even, and I think Emergen was top 3, maybe it wasn't. I don't know. They always fall for the same thing because they're so dangerous too, right? You can't ignore Terminators.
Yeah.
So people just want to shoot them, right? Yeah, and then you pop, like, normally I would have popped even more stratagems on them if I was. I usually pick Shadow Keepers, but I literally forgot to change when I submitted the list, so it says Dreadhost, and that means I have to play Dreadhost. But
Oh, so you actually weren't even playing with the actual what is that? Chapter trait?
no, so you don't get a chapter trait. It doesn't exist. But yeah, Custodes don't get chapter traits. We just get extra stratagems for being a certain host.
Right. But
so we get the Shadowkeeper's stratagem is -1 strength, which is the only thing. Like all the shield hosts all have like one thing that's good, and all the other things suck. Like the Warlord trait for Shadowkeepers is like, you do mortal wounds to characters or something, or no, you do -1 invul saves to characters, and it's a relic that can only put on a character. It's like, it's pretty shit. And yeah, and Dreadhost has some good stuff, but their stratagem is only for if you want a 9-inch deep strike, which I never do. I just teleport Homer instead. So, so it's, honestly, in my opinion, it's funny because I think I have the worst Dreadhost or the worst shield host for this list, because I forgot to change it. Yeah, but it's still a good list, I think, to be honest.
Do you think that with these Alaris Custodians, I can't believe these are the tankiest units in game?
Yeah, probably. The ignore, like, they are very, very, like, absurdly tanky versus specific things is the thing. Like, against anything that's AP2, they just don't take damage. Like, they have a 2-up save against anything that's AP2 or AP1. So, like, if you're facing, yeah, like, Admec has a lot of AP2, AP1. Usually Admec can deal with it, though, because they have, like, 1,000,000 shots with mortal wounds. But turning off the rerolls is a really big thing, and he's hitting on 5s because of the -1 to hit banner.
The banner.
Yeah. Like, the banner is so good. Like, I see people bring the Imperious banner, and I just think they're silly. Like, it doesn't make any sense. Like,
the thing with the Idris stand is it's -1 to hit already, but you're just gonna use call to reroll stuff, so it makes up for it. And to take that away from someone is like devastating.
That's like one of the absolute best stratagems in the game of all time. The 2 CP turn off rerolls. It's just a game changer, right? Yeah. It's always like it's always like it's crazy with Custodes because you always feel like you either crush so hard or you just get tabled turn 2 and you're just sitting there dead. And it might seem crazy after watching this game to think that units of Alaris Custodians like this can just die, but the way to deal, like, some armies, like if you have like, for example, I got absolutely smashed by another Admec player the other day. It was Ember Gem and his alpha list that he has. He just put he got first turn and he did Wrath of Mars on his what are they called? The not the robots, but the ones you have here, like the Ballistarius. And he just did like, yeah, and those guys they hit on and then he did the +1 to hit stratagem and the +1 to wound stratagem, and then he got, like, you know, it was like 15 mortal wounds and like 25 saves or some shit. It was absurd. Yeah, like a six-man squad, I think. Yeah, and then like I think so far the only 2 lists I've lost with since Custodes, or the only 2 factions I've lost against with Custodes since the War of the Spider came out was Admec and then a weird Eldar list that a guy named True ran, which he is a really good player, and his list was like, it was literally only star cannons. It was like 15 star cannons. And Joko, who's an Eldar player, will know what star cannons are. They're basically they're like the perfect Custodes killer. They're AP 3, so I can't ignore the AP, and they're strength 6, so he wounds me on 3s, right? Yeah. And then he just volume of shot me. He fired like, you know, like 36 shots a turn, hitting on 3s.
Everything in the Eldar arsenal is either AP1 or 3. I thought I could jinx you.
Yeah, Jinx is really good against Custodes too.
Oh, we're being rejoined by Aladaris, by the way. Seems like he's been able to make it back to this post-game discussion.
So Someone asked in the chat, is the -1 to hit banner worth it if Vexillus used a deep stratagem along with the others?
So I don't know what he means, but yeah, like the -1 to hit banner is always worth it for all time. It's an auto take in every list, in my opinion. Because even if you only have Alaris and Deep Strike, and no other Custodes, when those Alaris come down, they're not gonna need +1 attack, which is the only other option. You have two options for, well, there's three options, but the third one is so shit that no one ever takes it. But there's two options really, which is +1 attack banner and -1 to hit banner. And I don't know if you saw what my Custodians did when they came back, but did you feel like they needed +1 attack? I don't know about you, but they just killed everything.
Yeah.
Like I've never experienced 7 Alaris not killing what I wanted them to kill. It's never happened.
Yeah, it was
And
crazy.
6 Alaris, there was once a Mortarion that survived with 1 HP, and that was because he rolled like 15 5-up Field No Pains. It was Ember Gem, obviously. You don't need the +1 attack. You just want the -1. The -1 is way too good. It's game changing against some monkeys.
So I have a question to Squids. What would you do differently if you replay this game? Why do you think
Probably not move up as far. I think I should have held back a bit and defended as long as possible and kept him out of melee range as long as possible. And I think focusing the Terminators when he popped that stratagem was a big mistake. But if I let them live, they were just gonna charge me next turn anyway, so.
I definitely think that I think that's a bit of a double-edged sword there, because I think if your opponent is wise to that, I think there's a very easy bait out that stratagem use, just completely focus something else. But I mean, presented with what we have here on the board, what are you actually really going to target? Tank commanders, I guess.
I mean, they were in cover though. I mean, I guess it wouldn't. I don't know.
Yeah. Turn 1 is.
There,
Yeah. Usually the tank commanders are what you go after. You use the Mortal Wound strategy, you use Wrath of Mars to whittle down the Alaris, and then everything else shoots tank commanders, because otherwise the Alaris are just going to tank it and not take any damage.
Yeah.
Honestly, this list is almost already retired, the one I have right now. I think tank commanders are still too expensive to bring in Custodes anyway. They're good, but they die to a lot of things. Like, if you look at the Marine lists that are running around right now, it's like 15 last cannons and 4 last cannons and 15 Meltas, so they just fire AP4 at your tank commanders, you don't get a save, and you just get absolutely destroyed. Each Space Marine unit can kill 1 tank commander, so I think I'm definitely dropping the tank commanders, and I'm looking at stuff like Sisters of Battle and stuff instead.
This is Elder speaking. So I was looking at the game for a little bit, and it seemed like in the beginning, on turn 1 at least, there was a chance to wipe out most of the infantry on the ground, the guard squads, and...
Oh, I have it muted. Sorry, that's from the game. There you go.
Alright, yeah. So, sorry, as I was saying, on turn 1, the infantry squads, as weak as they are, and even though it doesn't seem like they do anything, they are quite important for holding objectives and scoring that extra bit of points, especially for hold more. So I definitely think you could have gone for that instead of focusing everything on something with 2-up saves that you just absolutely have no chance of killing. If you did that, actually, Trajan was a little bit misplaced, and there was a chance that you could have the majority of your left side of your units on the table shoot at Trajan and snipe him, since there was just nothing that was closer. So that was an option, but definitely, as was mentioned before, the tank commanders are your go-to priority to kill. They're just very expensive units, are not actually that durable. Unfortunately, you don't have the best weapon profiles to deal with it, but it's one thing to consider as well.
Yeah, and about the Trajan being out of position, that was somewhat intentional. I don't think Trajan is that important in this list. Like the only thing he does is drop the 3 CP, which is really good. Like of course it's massive. 3 CP for Custodes list is absolutely gigantic. That's why I bring Gilliman every game, because I want the CP, right? But other than that, he doesn't do much. So I intentionally put him like right next to this thing, which is dense cover. So if he wanted to shoot at him, he would first have to kill the guard squad that he was next to, and then he would have to at least weaken the custodians, because there was a custodian right here that was in 3 inches of Trajan where he was. So he would have to both shoot the guardsmen and the custodians, and then if he did that, then he could target Trajan. And even if he did, he was still -1 to be. Yeah.
I mean, the general idea is you actually want to move your entire army back. Like, if he didn't put his units, his robots in double shoot mode, which I'm not sure if he did or not, since I wasn't here for that part, he could actually just walk everything back a couple inches and still force a 9-inch charge, which is better than nothing. Because Custodes can't charge after advancing normally, you can also just make the units in the center of the board foot slog even more and make them not kill anything for another turn. So you basically just have to give up 1 extra turn. And considering how I'm looking at the board, there's not that many Custodes left in the center of the board next to your big bulk. I think it could have turned the game a little bit.
Yeah, it definitely would have helped if it could move back a little bit, and then. But I think even if you moved 5 inches with the robots back from where he was, it would still have been like minimum or maximum of like 7-inch charge with the +1 from Gilliman, right? From the teleport homer. And I rolled a 10 on the charge anyway, so it would have been almost the same, except he would be further back, and that wouldn't really matter. So like, but that is the right call, right? You want to move away, and then you want to you want to force me to foot log for as long as possible. You are a shooting like you are a ranged army with very heavy firepower and very shit melee, so you just want to stay away from.
Yeah, and you have to consider he also moved his robots forward on the first turn, right?
Yeah,
so it could be a 10-inch difference.
Yeah. Yeah, if he did that, then it would have been a 9-inch charge, probably. With the +1. Yeah. But then, he's forfeiting the entire board, so I'm gonna score 15 points every turn, right?
Yeah, that's another
That
problem.
too, yeah. The 10 commanders he's not shooting. Both objectives are out of his line of sight because he's behind that massive, like this frickin' corner ruin. Like he would have to be over here, which, I mean, what do you see from over here? At that point, I just move my custodians here, and then I hold every objective. He might get 1 more turn of shooting, but I'll get 15 points every turn. So. Yeah. Yeah. I also think turn 1 is massive in this matchup. It's absolutely gigantic, because I get 1 less turn to get shot before I drop down my Alaris, which is a really big deal, because it allows me to split, like, it's unquantifiable how much that matters, because these Alaris Custodians were the ones that came down from Deep Strike, and my Vexilla was like over here. So basically, my Vexilla was here, my Constantine. If I can't drop this turn, then I have to stay with these other Alaris over here. These Alaris have to be over here instead. And then this entire quadrant is 3. And there's 3 crawlers, or whatever they're called, Ballistari, over here. Just shooting me, right? So like, it pushes the pace so much in favor of the Custodes when I can drop down before he has had his turn 2, instead of having his turn 2 and then me dropping down, right?
Yeah, of course, always very important to have first turn as a deep strike melee army.
Yeah.
One tip for players that are looking to fight Custodes with the ignoring -1, -2 AP stratagems, especially with something like robots, you can devote that one unit of robots first into one unit of Custodes. They have to do it because you're a pretty strong profile, strength 6 -2, with a lot of shots, and then after they pop it, you just shoot something else. Never try to go up against 2-up saves with weapons that have very few shot counts.
I mean, even many shots, right? He fired, what, 72 shots and he did 4 wounds. He did 4, no, he did 3 damage. He fired 72 shots.
Yeah.
That was just a really horrible roll. You know, like a 160 out of 22? Something like that.
Oh, you mean the mortal wounds? Yeah, the mortal wounds
Yeah.
were rough. He should have done like 4 mortal wounds, instead he did 1. Yeah, the Onager, they really... When he Rafa Mars with the Onager, he did 6 mortal wounds, and I was like, what the hell?
Yeah,
That was crazy. Yeah. He also forgot about his exploding 6s, which I feel really bad about, because that would have made a big difference.
It wasn't your fault. That was my bad.
Yeah.
I mean, it's my dude. I gotta keep track.
Did you roll for the robot explosions?
No.
Ah.
He didn't.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
they
just forgot I
exploded.
had the exploding 6s on the engine seer.
No, I was talking the actual explosions, like the mortal
Yeah.
wounds near them.
Like when they die, yeah. Yeah, I meant that too. Yeah, you forgot that they explode when they die.
Yeah.
On a 6-up. Yeah, so maybe you do 1 mortal wound or something to my Alvarez, or 6 dudes. Yes. Every list. Every Custodes list should have 2 things. A Vixilla Praetor with a Magnifica and Alaris Custodians. You can change the Alaris for Aquilons, but I don't think it's not as good. Like the Alaris have so many more like special things they can do. Like they can pay 2 CP to target characters. They can pay 1 CP to shoot things to turn off their Overwatch, which is massive if you're facing like, you know, AP1 aggressors and you don't want to waste CP on turning off the rerolls in Overwatch, for example. Or if you're facing salamanders that can Overwatch with 2 units, then you can turn off the Overwatch of both, and you don't have to deal with getting 2 guys, you know, killed in Overwatch. Alaris also have 2 damage weapons, which is really big in if the Nurgle meta that people are talking about probably being like the Nurgling. The Nurgling meta is a pretty big thing, and Alaris only have 1 less shots than Aquilons, but they have 2 damage, which turns off the Film of Pain, which is a really big deal. Like there's a lot of things to say for Alaris. Also, the big bases of the Aquilons, like the Aquilons have almost the same size base as Gilliman. It's like massive. It's like this big instead of whatever the, I think it's 2 points. I think it's it might be 2.5. I think it's at least 2 inches. It's really big, which makes a big deal when you're trying to teleport Homer things within 6 inches of a Vixilla. Like it's really hard to fit 7 massive bases near your Vixilla. Like there's so many things talking for Alaris. But yeah, Alaris and Magnifica in every list, in my opinion.
Yeah, Aquilons only go up to 6, I think, but you're basically trading a little bit of extra melee power from the Solar Talons that the Aquilons have for a lot more utility, better range, more safety, and just a lot more variety of things you can do with the unit.
Yeah, like the character targeting especially is like absolutely gigantic, and like they fit so much better in like specific in a lot of maps. And then there's the most obvious thing, which is that they're 10 points cheaper than Aquilon, which is just stupid in my opinion. Like they should be Aquilon are worse. So yeah. Like sure, AP4, strength 10, really nice, right? If you're facing a lot of knights, sure, but you're not gonna face a lot of knights in knight, so who cares? Strength 8, AP2 is more than enough to kill the things you need to kill.
I have a theory that a knight meta could return. Just my theory.
I think that's going to be quite difficult unless we get alternate rules like ITC come out again. It's the scoring rules don't favor them. Let's just put it that way.
Yeah, I mean, it's even worse than people realize, because there's also like even on maps where the objectives are close enough that you can hold 2 of them with 1 knight, that's not allowed because 1 model can't hold 2 objectives. And then there's the fact that knights don't have obsec, and every single army right now is going to bring a ton of obsec. Custodes, Nurgle, Space Marines, like you name it. Admec even have a decent amount of obsec if they bring breachers at least. Like
They're slow though, damn.
yeah, they are. They're slow. That's their downside, right? But they're tanky instead.
Yeah.
I don't know. Knights are they feel absolutely garbage right now. They're bottom of the bottom tier.
Really? That's pretty
Yeah, I think in
interesting.
terms of like actually what the models can do and how fairly they're costed, Knights are pretty good. I think they're in a pretty good spot compared to 8th edition, but it's just the scoring rules
The scoring, yeah.
don't work with them at all.
You're gonna play a game where your opponent's gonna score 45 primary every game, and you're gonna be at 15. So you have to crush them on secondary and like table them if you want to win. And tabling armies is like hard for any army, including knights. Even if you bring like 4 shooty knights, you're not gonna table most armies, and then you just lose out on points.
Yeah, but that does. Yeah, I can resonate with that. Yeah. But yeah, no, that was a pretty good thing. I think Admec was favored to win that pretty much. Even up until turn 4, people thought it was a 50-50. But
Really?
yeah, or it might have been turn 3. I'm sorry.
Really?
I don't know. When he moved in
Battle round
my,
3.
Deployment zone, I was like, yeah, I'm done. It's over. Damn. Okay.
Yeah, I was pretty confident when I teleport homered in. I was like, okay.
Yeah.
Especially since I scored 15 on the primary, I was like, okay, this is.
Yeah, I was in.
Yeah,
objective.
you had 10 points at turn 2.
Yeah,
Or 15, you had 15 points, and 10 of those are for painting your army. So like 40 to 15, you know, like the points are just not gonna work.
Can
out.
we all just pretend that doesn't exist?
It would be a shame if someone backed your teleport homer.
Yeah, it would, wouldn't it? Oh god, that's the worst.
Teleport
Someone does that.
Homer.
It's even worse when you face like the what are they called? When you face Alpha Legion and they activate the 12-inch. You cannot deep strike within 12 inches of an Alpha Legion unit. And then because they can target one of your units, so they can just be like, this Alaris unit is not going to do anything.
That's interesting.
It's absolutely stupid.
But I
And
mean,
there's
you
also
still
the-
have to you still have to deal with the Terminators. They're still coming.
Yeah, but it kills your tempo so hard.
It kills your
Like,
tempo, yeah. But I mean, what's Alpha Legion? What does Alpha Legion have access to that can actually deal with that?
Demon Princess.
Demon Princes.
Well,
yes.
I'm not talking pure Alpha Legion. Pure Alpha Legion is
Right,
hard, obviously,
soup.
But I'm talking like soup, yeah.
I mean, even pure Alpha Legion, a buffed up, what's it called? Their HQ on a horse
Oh, the
can
Lord
actually
Discordant?
wipe a squad of Alaris quite easily by itself.
Yeah, Chaos have a lot of like absurdly good HQs that just destroy you. My favorite, my least favorite is the frickin' Gorefang dude that does like every 6 to wound is 3 mortal wounds. So you just send in a guy with 7 attacks and he rolls 4 6s, and he all of a sudden needed like 15 mortal wounds to your to your Alaris, and you're just sitting there watching your Terminators die to one dude in Terminator armor. Okay. Saddest part ever.
They're so dope. Just watching them this game, yeah. I think it's a very good counterplay for these shooting lists here. And you know, we were told you had us all fold, brother. You had us all fold.
Yeah.
We
I
all
actually, like, I could feel when you were pinging in the middle of the table during the game, like in turn 1 when I moved up my Terminators, like I could feel it. I was like, okay, they think these Terminators are just gonna die now, and that the game's gonna be
Wait,
over
I
because my
pinged?
characters are. Someone did. I don't know.
Yeah, because at the beginning when you deployed, we were like, what's this? Don't you want to deep strike this?
I never believed that the Terminators would die. I just said these guys should not do anything until turn 3. That was
you said that you should not target them, right? And shoot
Yeah,
other
don't
things.
shoot at the Terminators. Yeah. I mean, there's also, how do you not shoot at Terminators then again? Like, well, I think this map was also, it was favorable to me in that it was small, but it was also like really hard to hide my guardsmen. So like, how was I gonna keep those alive? I think I deployed like almost as well as I could do with my guardsmen. I don't know, like I couldn't. If I fit 2 squads back here, then I'm not gonna get out on the board fast enough. And this squad is like, it's actually hidden. So
Yeah.
I only had 1 out in the open, and that was fine, I guess.
I disagree, Melted. I think that I don't think that Squids misplayed this as hard as people did. I think he did as much. He played reasonably, as considering what he was playing up against. Yes, there's some. I noticed that there's an experience gap there, but I mean, they're Terminators, right? That have these abilities that just completely shut down any sort of damage, and then you have more Terminators on the way that are going to be deep striking in 3 inches. I think that even targeting them is not a wrong answer. You have to do something about that, otherwise you're going to get trapped on one side of the board and then just get wrecked.
I think the biggest problem was like small mistake piled up, basically.
Right.
Yeah, small mistakes pile up. Yeah, agreed.
Yeah, I think like even if something is basically just turning the robots in the double shoot mode on turn 1 might have been enough. You just pour out double.
He did that.
Oh, he moved them first. Okay, got it.
He moved them first, then turned them into double shoot. Which I didn't know you could do, by the way. But
Oh yeah, you can do that.
yeah, so he did that, but and then he rolled atrociously. But it's also like I turned off rerolls. He's hitting on 5s,
Yeah.
It's not supposed to do a lot, but I mean it's supposed to do more than 3 damage, obviously. But he's supposed to kill like 1, maybe 2, Yeah. Anyway, I will put this caveat on it. I agree with anyone who says Admec is favored against Custodes. This is the hardest matchup for Custodes in the game. I am very confident to say that. I think if Admec gets turn 1 and they have the right kind of list and they know what to do against Custodes, you are very hard pressed to win against that, because you just lose like almost any Custodes list, especially if you're pure Custodes is almost even worse, because you'll have 3 units and they'll kill 1 a turn basically. Like even if you turn off rerolls on 1 and then he shoots the other one and it dies, and like I don't know, Admec is one of the only armies that has the firepower to actually kill like 1.5 Custodes unit a turn, which forces us to waste stratagems on a unit and stuff.
I also like to point out that the deployment zone kinda did favor Custodes. I have
Agreed.
to say.
Yeah, I wouldn't say the map, but I'd say the deployment zone for sure. Dawn of War is a lot better than
Hammer and Anvil.
Hammer and Anvil. Yeah, Search and Destroy is also very good though. So just like those are the 2 that you want.
Now I kind of want to play against Custodes a bit.
Yeah. I mean, there's a lot of everyone always sees the crazy Custodes crushes people, and then they miss that there's a ton of counterplay. Like there really is a lot of counterplay to Custodes. They're one of the best face smash armies in the game. They just destroy anyone who doesn't know what to do against them. But like if you know what to do, you can kite them, you can pick them off, you can do all kinds of stuff because you just have way more stuff in general. Like Custodes just pay a lot of points for everything, and then we have to make up for it by spending a ton of CP. And the moment you're out of CP, your units are overcosted. Like even after we didn't get a single points change, well, almost not a single points change. Like even after that, our units are still overcosted for what they do, unless we spend stratagems on them. If we do, they are super good. like really efficient. Like Terminators with stratagems, really efficient. But if I didn't use a single stratagem that first turn, he kills the entire unit of Terminators turn 1. And that's 400 points that I just lost for doing what, you know? So, like, we are still overcosted, but we are not if we have CP to spend on stratagems.
That being said,
So,
there is something that I kind of wanted to ask about was the secondaries. Now, I'm not 100% familiar with these new secondaries, but
Yep.
I would say, considering that by the end of the game, there's no scores on the secondaries here, definitely secondaries choices were a little bit poorer with Admec here.
So I will put another caveat on that, in that how do you, there's no good secondaries
Yeah,
against
I
Mary.
wasn't sure. I just wasn't sure what to take.
There's
He had 2 vehicles. He had like
yeah.
not a lot of models either.
There's no kill secondary that works against me. None. The best one is Assassinate, which you can only score if you absolutely destroy me, because all my characters are super tanky, except the tank commanders. And the there's not enough vehicles, there's not enough models, there's nothing there. You can't take kill secondaries. It's impossible. So what you have to take is you can take engage in all fronts, which is basically recon. You can take raise the banners, which is conditional on me not taking the objective from you, which is really hard because everything Custodes is obsec. And then I don't know. There's nothing good. Like Custodes are really good at the secondary game in 9th. That's probably our primary strength, is that we play the missions so well. Like, say what you want about our durability and all that, but we are so good at denying secondaries, and we're just as good at taking primaries. So, like, I don't know. It's not uncommon for me to play against someone who scores like 15 on secondaries total during a game. Like, that's not uncommon at all.
Pretty interesting. Then again, I don't know all the new secondaries and stuff, so
Yeah. I mean, it is just.
thank you for shutting me down.
I played like 29th edition games or something by now, and I've played against all kinds of lists, and it's never, like, no one ever scores really well on the secondaries against me. There really are no good ones against this type of Custodes list. Some Custodes list you can do some stuff against, like, you know, if I'm running like more characters, you can take Assassinate or whatever, but there's like, it's very rare to get anything. You just have to take the like ones you can score yourself, like hold more, or the domination, like hold half the objectives and engage on all fronts and raise the banners, basically.
Now, would there be any suggestions that you would give someone looking to play competitive Custodes, soup options like that?
Yeah, I mean, the main one is just start every list by having at least 5 Alorus, probably 6 or 7, and 1 Vixilla. That's every list. Every Custodes list has that. Again, you can't take a Quillon, but I think it's worse. But you can take it. It's okay. And then the second thing is, if you want a soup, I mean, the two best soup options are Sisters and Guard. I think Sisters is better, but I don't know how to play Sisters, so I haven't done it. If I knew how to play Sisters, I'd have them instead. And I'm working on that. I'm gonna swap the Sisters soon as my soup option. But also, you don't need to soup with Custodes anymore. Like, you can almost argue that it's better not to soup in some situations with Custodes.
Oh yeah?
Like,
why is that?
Because you get more CP. That's the simple answer. If you don't soup with Custodes, you get more CP. I get more CP because I bring Gilliman, and Gilliman gets 3 CP, so I don't have to deal with the fact that I spend 2 CP on a guard detachment, right? But most people, if you bring this list without Gilliman, then you start with 8 CP, which is too little. You spend like 5 a turn, so you're out by turn 2. End of turn 2.
Yeah, and Custodes do have good shooting options.
Yeah.
A lot of them went up in points, but the Grav Tank is still very serviceable, a very good unit. It's only still, I believe, 220. Talibans are still decent. You have the Palace, which is actually a pretty good weapon profile. 3 damage is actually very good in the current metagame. And you have very good troops for just holding objectives. Yes, they're pricey, but at the same time, there's basically no way that they get killed in the backline. Like, no one's gonna bother shooting them in, and so they're gonna just always hold backline objectives.
And yeah, exactly. Custodes have everything now. That we like. Of course, we still lack in some ways. Like, our anti-tank shooting is basically we bring melta missiles on our bikes now, but you know every bike is 100 points, so it's hardly efficient shooting, right? But like we are more than serviceable in every way, except body count, of course. But like you don't need to soup with Custodes. Like you really don't.
Yeah.
But I do think if you want to play pure Custodes, you have to bring probably a Telemon, and you have to bring bikes, like almost guaranteed. You can bring Venatari instead of bikes. Venatari are really interesting now, and they're actually quite good. But they're the squishiest unit in the Custodes arsenal, and still expensive. So
just bring bikes.
Okay, well,
just bring bikes. Exactly.
I wanted to. No, you're good. I just wanted to kind of bring it back to Squids here. Now, Squids, you said that you were relatively new to competitive.
Yeah, I just started playing the game in March, so like when the quarantine hit.
Oh, okay.
I've just been interested in the lore and stuff for a while, and
Okay.
decided to take the jump and try out the game on tabletop. I've been playing with some casual games with friends lately. That's all. This is my first tournament I've been in.
Awesome. Okay, well, I'll rephrase the question for you a little bit then. What felt good to bring in this Admec list for you? What were some things that worked, that you felt worked a bit for you, and maybe some things that you felt were a little weak?
The Dune Crawlers, I think. The Icarus Array with the re-rolling from Call with the exploding on sixes, that completely eliminates the fact that you're hitting at -1 the whole time. And I mean, it's just 9 shots. It's just more shooting. I think they're really powerful. Yeah, the biggest hit was that stratagem he pulled on the Terminator.
Yeah, that was wild. I don't think nobody. Look, don't feel bad, but I don't think chat even. I don't even think chat knew. I'm gonna be honest with you guys. Let's just be real here. Nobody was talking about it, guys. I'm sorry, you guys didn't know.
What are you saying? I said it like 10 times before turn 1 ended.
I'm just kidding. But yeah, so and yeah, that was really cruddy. What about the Raiders? People have been talking about Raiders.
Yeah, that's why I threw them in, just as people said they were good, and I don't. After playing it.
Actually, that happened to me too, dude.
They are so broken. I'm so annoyed
Why
at
is it?
those guys.
What
So
show
yeah,
is them? I mean, I don't.
Yeah,
I move
so
them
they're
out with the 12-inch movement or whatever at the start, but then they just get shot. What am I supposed to?
Yeah, so the thing about them is you are paying 48 points for 9 wounds that have 4-up saves, and I think a 6-up invul. That alone is incredible.
yeah.
And then they also have a scout movement, they have AP -1 melee weapons. So they're very good at contesting objectives and killing light infantry on them. Obviously not good against Custodes, but if you can get them into guardsmen, you can knock those out. If you manage to charge the tank commander's weapons for the most part are all blast, so they can't shoot in melee, and they will have to fall back and do nothing. So it's just a very potent unit under the right circumstances for a very low commitment. You're committing 48 points each for a unit of 3, and it's 16 points for 3 extra wounds, which is a very good deal, quite frankly.
I know, and I saw how he was playing them, and that's why I'm a little confused, because some people are like, oh no, it's inexperienced, but he was doing what he needed to do. I feel like he was moving the Raiders up. He was preparing to get the tank commanders tied up. Like, I think we need to give Squids more credit. I think he's got a good future in this.
Oh,
like,
thanks.
He understood, man, and you're telling me this guy is new? Oh my goodness. Oh, imagine me. Oh, Dude, I played Admec once, and I didn't want to play him any no more. And I played pretty much every unit in this that you have here. And you remembered like pretty much everything, like with a few, just a few nuances. But like I said, it's one of those classes that have very intricacy rules. Like,
Yeah.
would you disagree with that? Like,
He didn't play bad per se. It's just a small mistake piled up, as I said previously. And
Yes.
a lot of small mistakes make you lose the game.
Yeah, it's just so much to keep track of. I'm still getting used to it.
Yeah, Admec does have a lot going on, so.
but also in the
It's an army that does take a bit more practice, and yeah, you probably want a list of like stratagems that you regularly use, but other than that, practice makes perfect.
I made a joke before. I said that to play Admec, you're probably a lawyer, because that's literally how I felt when I felt like I was doing paperwork when I played Admec. Is the amount of time I was spending reading up and searching up rules, timings, special rules. But then again, it is me, so I'm not very good at this game.
Yeah, I mean they're one of the factions with the most rules, right? They really are, and the most like small interactions that you have to deal with, like and per unit, right? Like a lot of these units have unit-specific stratagems. Like the Ballistari have like 2 unit-specific stratagems: the +1 to hit and +1 to wound. I think are both unit-specific. And then the what are they called? The raiders we were talking about. They have so many like small things you can do with them. Like if you for example, if you combine Wrath of Mars with their innate sniper rifle, you can do like 10 mortal wounds to a character. If you have like 5 of them, because you do 2 mortal wounds on 6 to wound, and then if you have full rerolls, it's 2 shots per guy. Like it adds up real quick. You just need to get 4 6s, and you have done 8 mortal wounds to a character, for example, stuff like that. And you can obviously move them 12 plus, you can advance them in the first like before the game begins, because it's before the game begins. So you can move 12 plus d6 and then 12 plus d6 and then 12 again and charge. So you can move 24 plus 4 on average. So 28 inches in charge turn 1.
I think it's a set 9 inches they move, not advance.
It isn't. It's not a set 9 inches. They move as if it's the movement phase. So they move 12 plus d6. That's what's so crazy. It's like the Blood Angel stratagem for Death Company, that they can just move 12 and then advance, and then it doesn't count as if they advanced on the turn. So you can just move like 30 inches and charge something.
Basically, you gotta do turn 1 charge. Try something else.
Yeah, it's guaranteed turn 1 charge, which is why you can tie up things like tank emitters and stuff.
Does it say you move in deployment as it were the movement phase? Because if it
yes, it does actually.
It does.
You can actually advance.
Yeah, that's what I said. Yeah,
I didn't even
you
know
can,
that.
You can move in advance. Yeah.
I didn't know that. Okay.
I actually told you during the game, but I don't think you heard.
Oh,
I was trying to tell you.
All right.
Nah, it's fine. It's one of those. There's so many small things you can do. And the fact that they can do like 10, like I had one the other day. Ember Gem was running 6 of them against me, and he did Wrath of Mars, and he did like he rolled really shit, and he still did 5 mortal wounds to my Vexilla, and I had to do like 10 saves or something. If you stack Wrath of Mars on their thing, they can do so many mortal wounds to characters. Yeah, they have so many uses.
Yeah.
Like I watched another game where turn 1 he had 2 units and the objectives were so near each other that he took 4 objectives with 2 units of those guys. Turn 1, and it was the mission. It was the mission where if you hold an objective, you auto hold it for the rest of the game unless someone takes you off it. So basically, turn 1 he could hold 4 objectives and then move them off the objectives because he starts on them. There's so many crazy things you can do with those bastards. And then on top of that, they're just absurdly points efficient. 3 wounds for that cost. It's what 9 points a wound or something. 7. I don't know. Super efficient.
Jesus, they are cheaper than sister troop models.
They're just so cheap. And they have a sniper rifle with 2 shots, and they can stack rifle Mars on top of it.
All right.
And
Well,
they have a free up save most of the time because they have cover from Shrouds on.
I think I'm gonna take that.
Admec, I will try the detachment here. I can.
I mean, seriously, you should, like, any list that doesn't have at least 10 of those guys is a bit weird.
So I think I'm gonna take that cue here to go ahead and wrap things up here for the post game discussion.
Yep.
Joko, Aladeris, do you guys have questions?
Yep.
How about you, chat? Do you have any questions? You guys want to ask any questions before we end post game? I think we got pretty much all the other questions that we got post game.
Yeah.
So other than that, I mean, really, I guess the takeaway is that Custodes is strong as hell, and Admec have tools to deal with them, but they strong. All right. So, gentlemen, I want to thank you very much for joining me. You, Faith and Squids, thank you so much for allowing us to watch you guys and post-game commentary.
Yeah, no problem.
Yeah, my pleasure.
Much appreciated. I'm going to go ahead. And actually, I think that this is a great point to wrap up the stream as well.
Thanks everyone for watching. I had a great time.
Yeah, it was fun. Thanks, everyone. GG's.
All right, and that's going to go ahead and over to ending. What did you guys feel about today's stream? Did you guys like it? Commentary, did it feel good? Here, at the very least. I'm going to be rewatching it, of course, but did you guys have fun? Also, that we have Celine Star Dragon in chat. Celine also streams. If you guys want to go ahead and check her out, today she actually had a game with Lord Adornable from If the Emperor Had a Text to Speech. I did actually kind of forget to mention that earlier. Stop copying and pasting map elements. What do you mean? Get to have an actual spectator view with commentary. Did the commentary feel good? Did you guys mind hearing the players and then us commentating over the players? Maybe next time add a picture with the score sheet. Yeah, that's something I forgot to actually mention before. We actually do have a UI interface, but it's currently outdated with the 9th edition, so I kind of neglected to put that in. Without that, oh, the commentary was good. The switches felt as well. Oh, thank you, man. Well, just I definitely agree with the room itself. Definitely have to do something with the way it looks. I can show you an easy way to handle picture. Oh, I appreciate that. By the way, Celine, if you I'm calling you by your Twitch username. Harry, if you want to drop your stream link, you can. Go ahead and drop it in. I'm pretty sure that some of the boys would be more than happy to support you. Drop a follow even. You guys like, you guys, I'm getting a lot of feedback. I think you guys really like this. Yep, Neri streams 40K and 40K related game. Yep. Today, she was streaming with Lord Adornable from If the Emperor Had a Text-to-Speech. I wonder if we could ever get him in here to help us commentate on games. Don't worry, I'm not gonna poach. I'm not gonna poach. I think that Custodes is a fantastic list. And I suspected, like, I know a lot of people were like in chat were like, oh man, this is a terrible list and stuff. And hey, I get it, right? Soup, 9th edition. I mean, wasn't Soup supposed to be nerfed? Like, the whole new detachment thing was basically to make souping less rewarding, but turns out that there are still units worth souping. Oh. I think that Custodes is probably poised to be one of the more competitive lists. Like, competitively speaking, I think Custodes or a variation of Custodes is going to have a major show up. Now, Faith was kind of hinting on some things with Nurglings. I would have to see it play. I do also think that I think people didn't give Squid enough props. Like, yeah, Squid had some slight misplays, and you know, they were very slight, and I will be the first person to say that death by 1,000 cuts is a very viable way to lose a game of 40K. But considering how he played it, I think he played it with some slight exceptions. I think he could have played it a bit better, but not by a lot, right? Did good. And you're telling me that he only started playing a few months back? That's pretty incredible. I think he's got a very bright future ahead of him, and he's going to be a formidable opponent in Alpha League. Yeah, it would probably help if I knew what the secondary objectives. The new secondary objectives have been kind of overwhelming. I need to really crack open that rulebook and take a look. In fact, I probably should have opened up a PDF on the side here just to reference. I'm gonna have to talk with Aladaris, and we're gonna have to sit there and really review these things. But you know, there is a shakeup I think that's going to be happening, and man, now I just kind of want to stream more games because I want to see what's going on, like what's happening with Space Marines, and like I need to, like I'm so much more interested, and I'm only going to be able to stream one game. I am so tempted to try and stream another game, but I don't think there's actually any other Alpha League available. It was an exciting game, wasn't it? It was a back and forth. Like, so many people thought that it was going to be Admec definitely, and then a little something happened, right? In the second turn, and then it was like, nah, Custodes is going to win, and then it went back a little bit to Admec, and then it was like, oh no, definitely Admec's got this, and then it went back to Custodes, and it was like, oh wait, the game's over. Like, that was so back and forth. Truly scrappy, my dude. Yeah, with the rumors or the previews or whatever on, you know, Chaos Space Marines, that sounds really good to me. Chaos Space Marines, that sounds really good to me. Don't really have too many people on hand. People are going to sleep. And yeah, the difficulty really is the arranging of the match. There was about a good solid hour of, and it's still not done. I still have to figure out how I'm going to inject the stream UI. And Neri's saying that there's a way to get it in a different way. And so I might have to restructure the way that the UI looks again.